Last night it was the small schools. Tonight it's the big ones. Got a showdown in the OCC Ohio for you tonight as New Albany takes on Gahanna Lincoln. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a special Friday night edition of Honda's Thursday Night Lights presented by Columbus State Community College. I'm Randy Reinhardt alongside the football professor Jeff Logan. And Jeff, is it fair to say at the midpoint of the season this is a must-win or a huge game for these two teams?
Well, I think it's a very big game for both of these teams, Randy. And if you think about it, both of the coaches have told us before the football game that they almost feel like this is week one because they missed so many practices. They weren't able to have all the scrimmages that they would normally have in their situation. So they need to make sure that those mistakes that have kind of plagued them for the last 2 weeks disappear.
Let's talk about the combatants tonight. First of all, the visitors, New Albany, the Eagles, coached by Matthew Bubba Kidwell. We know him as Bubba in year number 3. They need a new focal point in the backfield because Michi McCauley is injured, so they go to number 24. His name is Jaden Fudge.
Yeah, he really has to elevate his game. He's a senior running back, and they want to feature him to be able to run the ball successfully. And the loss of McCauley, last year, 1,300 yards rushing. They lost him in game 1.
Fudge got 203 yards rushing in game number 1 against Lancaster. On the other side of the field, it's the Golden Lions of Gahanna Lincoln High School, coached by Bruce Ward in year number 7. Before this, he was the head coach at Beechcroft. And again, the focal point is a guy in the backfield for this squad. His name is Ronald Blackman.
Yeah, Ronald Blackman runs the ball very well, and he's got a 13.2 yards per try through the first 2 weeks of this season. And Randy, what really becomes important for Gahanna is they need to succeed at running the ball to create the opportunities to pass the football, and they want their quarterback, Trey Berger, to be able to throw the ball all over the field. In order to do that, though, you've got to run successfully.
That's why he's the football professor. They won last week over Westland 49-7. Are you ready for some football?
Let's let it go.
Are you ready for the Friday night edition of Thursday Night Lights? What a matchup we have. It is New Albany, it's Gahanna Lincoln, and it's you all right here on the Friday edition of Honda's Thursday Night Lights presented by Columbus State Community College in one place on the CW Columbus. They don't even want to look at it. They don't touch it because of what's going on in the world right now. And after the play, the running back or wide receiver quarterback then hands the ball to the center. The center motors up to the line of scrimmage when they're ready. At that time, Jack Sauter was ready to go before the rest of the team was. They decided to change the play. Jack, by the way, started week 2. He had ACL surgery last year, lettered in wrestling as a freshman, likes math and athletic conditioning. Tibbetts back to throw, looking long downfield across the middle. And does he have his man? Yes, in stride, counted. A.C. Klaus with catch number 5 on the season. And just like that, the Eagles soar to a 6-0 lead in this contest. That's another Ramos Roofing touchdown. For a free estimate on your roof, text or call 614-761-ROOF.
A really nice reception by A.C. Klaus, but how about the throw by Brock Tibbetts? He made sure that he would set himself up, let the receiver gain separation, found the single coverage that he was looking for, and was able to throw the ball on time, on target.
32 yards on that touchdown pass. Ian Huff for the extra point. It is up, and it is good, as Huff now has drained 6 of 6 extra points in this contest. And we've played just over 3 minutes, 3:20 to be exact. They go 32 yards to Klaus for the touchdown. And just like that, New Albany leads 7-0 on the CW Columbus. 7-0 the tally in this one in favor of New Albany as they look to go 3-0 in the season. Gahanna Lincoln comes in at 1-1 on the campaign. And ready to kick it off now again is Ian Huff. And there's the boots. And the return going to start from the 11-yard line. Look at the speed and look at the gap along the far side and taking it all the way up to midfield. I think that's Blackman on the return. It is. Ronald's got a great return as he takes it up to midfield, some 39 yards, and the Lions will be in great field position to start their first drive. And Jeff,
a good job of catching. Yeah, good job of catching the football while moving forward, Lanny. A lot of these guys that will return a kickoff will wait there for the football and not get a running start as they go, and that is very important. There you see the scoring summary.
Courtesy of Hilliard Lawn and Garden, 10 plays, 64 yards, just over 3 minutes off the clock. And now the Lions with a chance to answer. 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. from the gun, and the keeper by the quarterback on this close Wild Dogs first down, and there's not a whole lot there. So get the ball to the 48-yard line. In fact, that time what they did was they snapped it directly back to Ronald Blackman, who's there on the offense. This is your Spark Columbus starting lineups for the Lions on offense. We mentioned Mr. Blackman, Trey Berger, the quarterback, and good size up front in that line. Marcus White and Garrett Hessel as well, too. Elijah Smith gets a start. Tommy Bailey is a 3-year starter, and Baker, one of the Baker boys. I can remember Cale, Kane, and Blake. Excuse me, Cale, Cam, and Blake, and now we've got Kane as well, too. Quick pop on the out pattern is complete down to the 45 and maybe 44-yard line with the forward progress on the play before the hit is made by Jesse Gordon coming up from the secondary. The catch is made by the Lions, and there's your defense as well for New Albany. James Yarborough coordinates that. I covered him when he played at Independence. Good size up front. They run that 3-4. They sprint to the ball. They like to have 4 over-the-top coverage as well, too. They will move him around, Jeff, and they will also blitz on occasion.
How about the move by Jesse Gordon coming up from that cornerback spot? That was a fundamentally perfect tackle out on an island.
Berger and company have it now on a third down play. 3rd and 3 from inside the 44. This is Blackman. Can he get it down to the 40? Oh, yes, he can. To the outside. He's got a gap, and look at the speed. Outrunning the entire defense. Will take it in for the touchdown. Blackman takes it in. 43 yards for the touchdown. There's another Ramos Roofing touchdown, and a quick answer by the Lions. It took them all of, about a minute and a half?
Yeah, already 2 rushing touchdowns in the season for Ronald Blackman, but watch him break contain. Good job on the corner, but they've got to get run support coming up from those cornerbacks out there that got caught inside. Ronald Blackman sold that it was going to go off tackle, and then he bounced it outside, and somebody lost contain for the New Albany Eagles.
Extra point time to tie this contest. The kick is up, and we have knotted this thing now at 7 apiece. There's Mr. Blackman. He made it a tie contest with his touchdown of 43 yards. Explosion to the outside. Knotted at 7. Lions and Eagles. This is week number 3 of a special Friday night edition of Honda's Thursday Night Lights, presented by Columbus State Community College on the CW Columbus. Tied at 7, New Albany and Gahanna Lincoln. Hey, fans, don't miss the biggest plays from the biggest high school games in Central Ohio. Join Fox 28's Clay Hall for first scores on Fox 28 tonight at 10:45 p.m. That is sponsored by Spectrum. Had a chance to work with Clay at 6:15 tonight on the ABC 6 News at 6, and always honored to work with a legend like that. Kickoff time now for the Lions.
We're going to have a high-scoring affair here, Randy?
I think so. And we're also going to have number changes, too, because there's no number 94 on the roster for Gahanna Lincoln on the 4th revision I got. So I'm going to guess that is maybe Gerhardt who's kicking off as well, too. And the return for Fudge up to around the 30-yard line. All right, what have we learned so far, Jeff, in a rock'em sock'em first 5 minutes of this contest? As we look at this Hilliard Lawn and Garden scoring summary and the quick strike capability, at least we learned about that from Gahanna Lincoln.
Well, the team that's supposed to run has a passing touchdown. The team that is supposed to pass has a running touchdown. So what we're going to see in this game, a lot of diversification.
Spoken like a true professor who's teaching via social media right now.
Oh, my God.
First and 10 for Sauter and company as he brings up the football, that wing tee look, and they're going to hand it off the left side. Nothing there for Kidwell. Reverses his field. Can he get past the 31-yard line? Bounces, and gets it up to the 34-yard line. Jeffy ran 25 yards to pick up about 4 or 5 on the play, and good pursuit to the football that time by Tristan Cook Fisher.
Well, great effort, and I can tell you what, as a coach's son, Brock Kidwell right now knows that this is the wrong thing to do. But as a coach's son, he's going to sell it, and he's going to make sure that he gets a positive gain out of it so he doesn't have to go over to Bubba and have to explain the situation.
Tyree Johnson also helping out on the hit now. On a second down play, the quick out pattern. It's incomplete, thrown just a little bit behind A.C. Klaus, but a catchable ball still, nevertheless, and it'll set up a third down situation. Brock Tibbetts at quarterback. The man on your screen there is a guy that has already decided about his future. He is going to play college baseball at Indiana University. He's a guy that wore the number 12 the last 2 years, but changed to the number 9, surprised his dad. So the first time his dad saw him, he was wearing a different number. He didn't know who he was. But he did that to please his dad and surprise him. And this time it is Kidwell who takes the toss and needs to get it out near the 40-yard line. And, Jeff, we've not seen a measurement in our first 5 games, and we're not going to see one there. They're going to put it right at the 40 with a beanbag and call it a first down.
A pretty good job after a negative play on first down. They're able to come up with just the quick sweep here. Now, the one thing Coach Kidwell is going to need to speak to his son about, Randy, and you saw it, get the ball at the outside arm if you're running that ball. Keep it away from where the pressure's coming.
Good exterior block on the play by Fudge, but not this time. Great pursuit by that defense, shooting through to make the huge hit on the play for the Lions. A solid hit by the Lions. And again, we apologize. It looks like the Lions have completely changed their uniform numbers, because on 35 we have Sean Ugbana, who had not figured into the starting lineup. And we'll take a look one more time from ground level, and Kidwell gets the ball, and nobody blocked big number 35.
Yeah, and sometimes on this wing tee, they won't block certain players, hoping that they'll follow the trap. And that time it was successful for the defense and not very successful for the offense, as we've got an injured player on the field.
And we'll check out the Honda keys to the game now for these two squads. First of all, for New Albany, as we check them out, wing it. We talk about their wing tee offense. They have to execute to perfection, or as close as they can. They've got to bother Berger. We're talking about Trey Berger, the starting quarterback for Gahanna Lincoln. Get into his face. He's a guy that's a bit of a gunslinger. So they'll see if they can make something happen defensively against him. For Gahanna Lincoln, run. We're talking about Ronald Blackman, who's already run for a touchdown in this contest and been very effective. And Locke Brock. Take your pick. There's two Brocks in the offensive backfield for New Albany. Either Brock Tibbetts or Brock Kidwell, and so far they've been very effective. And Jeff, what we have right now is a stalemate in this contest.
Pretty good defensive stand by Gahanna, trying to take that running game away. And Randy, the last couple of plays, they've been solid with all that misdirection going on.
And still attending to a player for the Lions down on the field as they do so. I want to remind you don't have to miss Honda's Thursday Night Lights when you are away from your television. You can watch every game online at the CWColumbus.com. A big thank you to Kroger Distribution Center for sponsoring tonight's matchup.
Injured player Ricky Ali, and he is a key component to that defense.
Jeff, he was banged up coming into this game, so he's a bit of a question mark at linebacker. And then also, he was supposed to spell some at a running back position, but with him going off, basically you lose a guy that's definitely a starter in defense and also a contributor on offense as well.
Yeah, he's an impact player. There's no question about it. So Gahanna's going to have to dig deep and try and get some depth out of that bench.
I've been watching Jack Sauter, and he's loving the center playing with the football. Now he's flipped it back and forth from his right arm to his left arm again, because as we mentioned, without the officials touching the football, the center gets to hold on to the ball a lot longer than they ever have in the past. They must feel like a running back. There he is, marching rapidly up to the line. Fudge coming back around from the wing, this time up across the 40, weaving nicely again, picking his gaps and getting up to around the 45-yard line, making it a second down and just about 5.
A good vision that time by that young man. It was a lot of traffic going through there. This is a great shot from the end zone. Watch the hole open up. He gets his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage, kept the pads low, and you can see him just kind of picking his way through, but not stopping his progress. Good vision. That's the way to keep your head up as you go through the hole.
They need 5 more yards as we approach 5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Knotted at 7 with one wide out to the top. That wing to the top of the formation as well, too. Tibbetts wants to throw. The quick pop on the slant. There was a lot of traffic. He was looking on the play for Klaus, and he kind of got gummed up just past the line of scrimmage, so it's going to set up a punting scenario now for the Eagles with a 4th and 5.
No, first kicking situation of the game.
And we've got a quarterback that is also the punter for the Eagles, too. So Brock Tibbetts will stay in there, averaging 33.8 yards a punt so far for the 6'4 senior. They need a football.
Yeah, they've lost the football. And we saw this situation last night in our game, Randy, where they actually penalized the offensive team for not getting the ball on the field quick enough. See if the back judge is going to have anything to do with when they start the play clock.
Tibbetts standing back at his own 31-yard line. Good snap, pressure right up the gut, and he booms one. And the return is going to start from the 12-yard line. Up across the 20 to the 25-yard line. It's Brendan Raymond, the DB, and also a guy who can play wide out on the return. So a nice return will set up the Lions in good field position with 4:52 left to go. You talked about the fact that, they can run and throw the ball. Gahanna Lincoln likes to throw the ball at times, but you look at the numbers, too, and you would have to say that Trey Berger would have to improve on his completion percentage, Jeff, coming into this contest, 11 of 46 for 307 yards. He has a touchdown and 3 picks.
Yeah, 24% completion is not going to get it done. 3 interceptions, 1 touchdown, and This is something that this young man has got to improve on. He is gutsy out there, though. He will throw it into traffic if he has to.
And he'll keep it at times as well, too, and find a gap for 10, 15, 20, and 25 yards. He goes from the 25 to the 50-yard line before he's knocked down, and there's a guy that finds a nice gap there, and he's got good acceleration in the open field.
Well, this is a good read here, and this is a quarterback keep the entire way. They've set this up here. You could see the lineman pulling in that direction. And again, breaking contain. And one of the things that New Albany's got to do on defense is quit looking deep into that backfield. Make sure that you are creating containment and not let those players outside.
Ryan Schmidt makes the hit on the play and trying to reverse his field and find something as Blackman that time. That was designed to look like Jeff to go off the right-hand side, and then Ronald said, nope, there's nothing here. We'll scoot back to the left-hand side. Lost his balance, but still going to gain about 5. It'll set up a 2nd and 5.
They got a big offensive line led by that left tackle, Tommy Bailey, number 68. We'll watch him all night. They believe he is their top offensive lineman. Got a number of offers at the MAC level, but 6'4" and 281. Number 68, he is a fine football player.
When last we saw him as a sophomore, he weighed 240. On a 2nd and 5. On the ground they go again. And a great job that time to just carry the defender. The hit was made at the 45-yard line, but the running back on the play, Blackman, would not go down, carried the defender, Jeff, while moving to the outside and curling upfield for another 3 yards.
Yeah, that was Chris Pepper, who the defensive end, who came from the backside, number 10, who chased him down. And you can see he's holding there with all his might, but it took about 4 other Eagles to come in there to get Ronald Blackman to the ground. And Randy, talk about flipping the field and ball control. This is a huge 3rd down for Gahanna.
He's a Pepper. Chris was on the JV last year. A great start to the season. Can they convert? Yes, they can. They've got the 1st down. Blackman, boy, I tell you what, he's got not only incredible leg strength, but ankle strength as well, too, Jeff. They hit him even down low, and he carries the defender another yard or 2, and Ronald has another 1st down. According to Bruce Ward, he could be the best athlete on the team.
Well, he's a big kid, too, at 6 foot 190. And you can see here, he kept his pads nice and low, found a decent hole. Watch this great shot from the end zone. Good blocking, and not one tackle is going to bring this young man down. Took good care of the football.
So mark it as a 1st down and 10 now from inside the 34-yard line. Berger wants to throw, looking long the far side of the field, and was that caught before they went out of bounds?
No,
they're going to say incomplete. Only needs 1 foot in high school football, and they rule the pass incomplete, looking for Jordan Lowry. And there's another great bloodline there. I think we remember his dad, Tony, who played at Groveport, Wisconsin, and his brother, Michael, who played at Pickerington North, Gahanna, and Pickerington North.
Well, he's their deep threat, and you can see right there he stepped right on the line with the inside foot as the ball was caught right there. He's on the line. Good call by the official. He's their deep threat. They like to throw that ball up to him. Let him go get it.
It's been successful in the past. They go back to Blackman, who backs his way inside the 25 to around the 23-yard line, and enough for another Lion 1st down. Well, the offenses look like they're in midseason form. Jeff, we talked about week 3 maybe being week 1, but the line has been surging for the Lions here on this drive as well.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of getting out in front, and that offensive line solid up front. Right guard Marcus White, his big brother, playing for the Miami Red Hawks down at Southern Ohio, and his father, former OSU basketball player Tony White, saw him out there tonight with his wife for senior night, as Marcus is a senior on this football team.
And Watkins Memorial High School grad as well, too. 1st down and 10 from the 24-yard line. On this Wild Dogs 1st down to the outside. Blackman again. There was pursuit on the play, and there's a flag on the play as well, too, but still he got through that before he was knocked down by Cole Clay, the outside linebacker.
It looked like they may have gotten a hand up around the face mask. Let's see what the call is.
I think you're right. Joe Volpio talking to his compadres on the field.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 8. After distance to the goal. Result of the play. 1st down.
Yeah, really an inadvertent as you look at the officials for tonight's game.
And Joe running the crew with Frank, Steve, John, and Ben. And a very intense Joe with that call, too. I noticed got a lot of fire when he makes his call. Take a look at this one more time and watch as Blackman turns the corner. Watch the hand reach out right there and grab.
Inadvertent, but got the face mask. No doubt about it. That's a safety measure.
Inside the Schiff and Associates red zone, and the legs keep churning. Down to around the 10-yard line is Blackman again on the carry. Well, it looks like Ronald is going to be the workhorse early in this contest. 1:40 left to go in the first. Knotted at 7, looking for that go-ahead score.
Griffin Pringle checking in for New Albany, the big nose guard at 6'1", 255. He takes up a lot of space there, but what they need to do, they need to get penetration into that backfield.
On a second down play. Look at the burst, look at the seam, look at the touchdown. Blackman takes it in for the second time in this game for the score from about 9 yards out, and the Lions, after trailing early, now lead 13-7. Now this is something you don't want to see. Ronald is not getting up. Did he fall on the football?
Very slow to get up, and hard to tell what the injury might be. Watch again this offensive line controlling the line of scrimmage. Good blocks out front, again leading the way. Tommy Bailey, the big guy, but that is a really good effort. Didn't see the injury there, Randy, so much. Let's watch again.
He landed on his side. I thought maybe he landed on the football.
Yeah, just landed on his back.
Working on his leg, it looks like, so maybe it is a lower leg injury. Perhaps you hope it's just a cramping situation. Goes down.
Good effort, though, by the offensive line, and vision again. We talk about the vision of that running back, Ronald Blackman, being able to find where that hole is and not waste time running side to side, but making sure he gets himself going north and south, squaring those pads to the line of scrimmage.
He's had a night already. 8 carries, 94 yards in this first quarter, and 2 touchdowns, and still 1:13 left to go. He takes it in for the touchdown. He's sitting up now. Now, I saw helmet contact, Jeff. It looked like on that left leg right around the knee area or just below. And it looks like they're working on that left leg.
Working on the left ankle, looks like to me. And I tell you what, you think about 2 key football players to this Gahanna football team, you would have to say Ronald Blackman would be one of those guys. And so we'll have to watch this very carefully. And then Ricky Alley, who already went out of the game and was banged up a little bit coming into this game. If they were to lose both of those guys, Randy, you talk about an impact on both sides of the ball. That'd be huge.
Mike Todd letting you know that he is indeed here and warming up in the bullpen. And there's Blackman slowly and methodically working his way across the field.
Look at him holding a hamstring.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if he just kind of stretched himself there and...
Well, again, Jeff, when you get hit by the helmet in the leg, does it affect just that portion or above and below it? What happens?
It can be a bruise. I mean, more than anything else, I mean, he may have got stunned there. We'll see if they can stretch him out a little bit. But if that's a hamstring injury, that's going to take some time. And those are the big numbers Randy just referred to. 9 attempts. And we talked about the fact that he's averaging 13.2 per try. So he's not having a very good night. He's only averaging 9.4.
So extra point time now for the Lions. A chance to make this a 7-point cushion with 1:13 left to go. A whole lot of rushing going on in the extra point. And it drills it through. 14-7 the tally. Let's head down to the sidelines where Mike Todd is standing by, I believe with an injury update. Mike?
All right, thanks a lot, Randy. 5'8" senior Ricky Alley, number 33, spending a bit of a time on the trainer's table. He was favoring that left leg, which I know had been giving him some trouble during these previous 2 games in this season. He may not return. We're not sure yet. It is unsure whether or not he is coming back. He's got his helmet on. He's trying the leg out. We'll give you an update as soon as we know more.
Thank you very much for that custom air heating and cooling sideline report. And we stand now at 14-7 in this contest. Gahanna Lincoln with 1 loss on the season. I mentioned that happened in week number 1 against Reynoldsburg. Here is your Hilliard Lawn and Garden scoring summary. It was 9 plays, 74 yards, took just under 4 minutes off the clock as they get the touchdown to take the lead for the first time in this contest. And talking about Gahanna Lincoln, this is a team that last year went 3-7, 2 years ago 5-6, and then 7-5 before that, 5-5. State runner-ups when you go back to 1976 and made the playoffs recently in 05, 6, 7, 11, 14, 15, 17, and 18, and they taken 3 of the last 4 in this series with New Albany. There's the kick. It's high and not that deep and taken in stride, and the Eagles will have good field position right at the 39-yard line to start this next drive here, down by a touchdown. Coming up at the start of the second quarter, we'll join Mike Todd on the custom air heating and cooling sideline for a conversation with New Albany High School Athletic Director Richie Wildenhouse. We appreciate all that Richie has done throughout the years to help out the CW Columbus and our telecasts of Thursday Night Lights with a special Friday edition. Jeff, back-to-back again. You okay with that?
Absolutely.
Okay. It means you have to see me twice, 2 days in a row.
Got nothing else to do, bud.
All right. 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Handoff coming around and trying to cut it up. Not a gap that time for Fudge. Looked for the opening, and then a bevy of blue waiting for him right across the 41-yard line.
That's one of those plays that just took too long to develop, and Gahanna all over it. Jaden Fudge, who's having success running the football tonight, gets it up inside, and Randy, gain of only 2 on the play. And I mentioned how important it is on first downs to have positive yards when you're so run-oriented.
Jaden Yates, the big inside linebacker, makes a hit on the play. Speaking of hits, the quick hitter this time gets it up to the 45-yard line now in the person of Kidwell. So Brock now, we mentioned having big shoes to fill with the loss of Michi McCauley, but he's done a great job so far in this contest.
He really has. Inside trap, trying to create some deception inside.
God, he's a versatile player, can play in the secondary until this year, really. Was playing at quarterback, was the backup to Brock Tibbetts. 3rd down, they need about 5. Under 10 seconds left to go in the first stanza. Tibbetts wants the throws, got time, guns it across the middle, passes high, but snared by the big tight end who's got the catch. Braden Elwer makes the catch, a guy that started a tackle last year, was all-district as well, too, and now moves back to tight end on the last play of the quarter, moves the sticks for the Eagles.
Perfect execution, getting to the ball to the big guy at 6'3", throw it up where he can get it, and very athletic move by Braden Elwer. And they're going to go to the half, trailing 14-7.
That is the end of the first quarter, and those were the hands of a tight end and not a tackle, I can tell you that. 14-7, Lions roar after the first 12. This is Honda's Thursday Night Lights, presented by Columbus State Community College on the CW Columbus.
Happy to be joined by the athletic director at New Albany High School. This is Richie Wildenhouse. Richie, thank you so much for joining us here on Thursday Night Lights. First week back to school as athletic director. What's your impressions been like this first week?
Yeah, it was great to get students back into school starting Tuesday. I mean, it's just an empty building without our students. It's not a school without having them in the building. So it's been great to get them back. We're 50%, of our student body every other day. So although we only have 600 of them in the building any given day, it's great to have those 600 in. And, week 1 down, we had a successful week. Kids are back in the classroom working hard. Teachers are working hard with them as well. And again, like I said, it's just great to have the kids back into the classroom, walking around the halls and seeing all the smiling faces and stuff. It brings some sense of normalcy. It's the first time since around March 13th that we've had them back in the building. So we're really excited to get them back.
As far as athletics go, what is coming up for the New Albany Eagles?
Yeah, well, we're, there was so much emphasis on, I want a season, right? So we're kind of hashtag finish the season. And so, obviously we're going to keep plugging along. We've got, the meat of conference schedule for a lot of our teams. And, the golf teams are just over halfway done with their schedule. So they're turning the corner and looking for the back half of their competitive season. So, we're just going to keep on, competing. Kids are going to keep working hard, and coaches are going to keep coaching hard.
All right, Richie Wildenhouse, the athletic director at New Albany High School, guys.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for that. And we have a flag on the play. And Joe Volpio explaining what's going on. Fudge went around the left side for a 3-yard gain. Then he went around the right side for a 6-yard gain, but that's negated by the penalty call against the Eagles. And we're going to march the ball back to midfield now. So spotted at the 50-yard line, and Jeff, they need to pick up about 18 yards now for the first down.
Holding the call there, Randy. They brought it back, and this offense is not designed for 2nd and 17 or 18.
2 backs and a pump fake this time from Tibbetts, looking long downfield inside the 20, and the pass just a little overthrown on the play. And a late flag tossed in at the end of the play. The intended receiver is A.C. Klaus, and the flag came in a little late, and the Lions can't believe the call.
Gahanna's got to be careful complaining over there on the field with the officials. And again, Randy, you've mentioned this a lot of times, that there are no uncatchable ball rules as far as high school football is concerned. That ball was thrown well on the inside.
Defense, 15-yard penalty. Down remains 2.
So down is still 2. They pick up 15 with the penalty. Take a look one more time. Is there contact?
Well, there clearly is contact at that point. And he's Had the defensive back turned his head here, Randy, and started playing the football instead of just pushing the wide receiver, he probably gets away with it.
And the handoff goes to Kidwell, and a quick hitter gets it inside the 30-yard line and nearly bounced off of that, but he's going to pick up nearly 5 and have enough for the first down. Now, if the defender and receiver are both going after the football, Jeff, when it comes to pass interference, and their feet get tangled or a hand is put on the receiver to get balance or gauge his distance, it's not pass interference as long as you don't turn, pull, or twist the receiver. That time you have a little face guarding and a little contact as well, too.
Yep, good call, I think, by the officials there. And one of the reasons that Gahanna struggled a little bit maybe this season, Coach Bruce Ward talked about it, had some turnover issues, but also the penalties in inopportune times, and that one certainly came at the wrong time for Gahanna.
Another thing for the Lions, too, they didn't start practice till August the 10th. That's Fudge trying to maneuver back to the inside, and a good job by that wall of defenders to shut it down here and now. As that time, Tyree Johnson, big number 44 on your screen, helping to go up high and down low. They got some coverage, too, from Jaden Yates, who's doing an effective job at that inside linebacker position for the Lions. A guy that's got 11 tackles, 1 for a loss, and 1 sack as well.
Well, Jabez Hill is in there as well, number 32, having to play for the injured Ricky Ali. But Randy, you mentioned Jaden Yates, 6'2", 6'10", and just a sophomore.
And a returning starter.
Yeah, as a freshman.
Last year, yep.
He's a physical football player, and obviously Coach Bruce Ward looked at him and wanted him in his defense.
Quick punch this time by Kidwell up the middle. And, Jeff, that's the thing. It's almost like a quick pitch in baseball. When you do that quick hitter out of the wing tee, you're just getting down in your three-point stance, it feels like, in the defensive front, and all of a sudden they're coming by you, and they're already back to the linebackers.
Well, it's a mad sprint by that fullback who's in the three-point stance, and all he's doing is reading what the center block is going to be on that nose guard, and he's going to go either right or left, whichever way that center takes the nose guard, and hope that they have a gap, and they were able to make a decent gain there. And 1st and 10, they got to get the ball down inside the 10-yard line for the next first down.
We're inside the Shifford Associates red zone one more time. It's Kidwell to the outside. Got waylaid back inside the 15 near the 14-yard line is Mondre Curry coming up from the secondary to help make the hit. A guy that's a 5'11 senior. Also has an interception this year against Westland. There's a toss sweep.
Get the ball up inside. You can see the contact coming up from the defensive secondary. Mondre Curry, who's a 2-time starter, 5'11", 165-pound senior coming up to make the play.
Was the defensive player of the week last week for the Lions in their victory over Westland to the tune of 49-7. Halfway home, they need 5 more from the 14-yard line. Fudge has got 3. He's got 4. He's going to be about a yard shy of the sticks and the first down as they make the hit right there. Seeing a lot of action tonight is big number 35. That's Sean Igbana. We didn't think he was going to figure into the equation according to the depth chart that I had, but he's seen a lot of time. And again, you mentioned the injury to Ricky Ali as well, too. And that's kind of shaking things up. Jabez Hill seeing a lot more time, and Yates and Mylan Brown and Alapati Tuatavuki as well, too.
Look at big old Michael Martin in there, number 73, the defensive end. He is a beast. Look at that. I mean,
Mike Cole goes 6'3" and 300. They need 1 yard. Kidwell undercut, but he has 2 yards, and he's got the first down. So it'll be 1st and goal for New Albany as they look to tie.
You know, the funny thing about the big guy, Mike Cole Martin, that we were talking about, 73, you're going to watch him in the play here. He's going to be right in the mix as things are going on. Here's a guy that's 6'3", 300 pounds. The other sports that he plays, hockey and lacrosse. What?
And he likes music.
You gotta be kidding me.
And engineering.
That tells you he's got great feet.
Started playing football as a youngster in Canton, Ohio. On a 1st down and goal from inside the 8-yard line. Fudge, couple spin moves and keeps his balance and takes it in for another Ramos Roofing touchdown. And just like that, they have a chance to tie this game as he takes it in from 8 yards out with 7:45 left to go, and then it was 14-13.
Boy, what a nice move he made in the backfield. He's breaking ankles back there with this move. Watch again. He gets set here. Going to give him a little bit of inside and out. Oh, my goodness. Lost some underwear on that one, and he's able to take it into the end zone. Watch it. Whoop!
There's
Got
the whoop.
you.
That's the whoop I was
what you're
waiting
looking for.
That's right. Thank you.
Shaking that sugar down there. That is sweet.
Extra point time now for Ian Hoff again. I was waiting for that. Had to go to the halfway point of the season. Sideline warning is the call down on the field against Gahanna Lincoln. That carries no weight until the second one. So Ian Hoff out there, he starts on defense, looking for his 7th extra point of the campaign. Interesting point about him, they say that he kicks stronger as he gets more tired and the game goes on. Go figure, right? The game is knotted at 14 apiece. 7:45 left to go. What a game we have. Week number 3, halfway home. Don't go anywhere. We're loving it. This is Honda's Thursday Night Lights, presented by Columbus State Community College on the CW Columbus. We are knotted at 14 here in the second quarter, and fans, just a reminder, it's the coolest halftime show in Central Ohio. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll break down the hottest stars and coolest plays this far in the Custom Air Heating and Cooling cool plays of the first half. So check it out. All right, here coming up on the Music Go Round halftime show. Here is your Hilliard Lawn and Garden scoring summary after that last drive. And it goes 14 plays, 60 yards, takes 5:21 off the clock. Hoff with a boot, and somebody better pick it up, and they do at the 21 up to the 25-yard line. Let's see the status of Mr. Blackman now, too, as Ronald went out with that leg injury earlier, and that time the ball's returned by Tristan Cook-Fisher. So we'll see who gets the nod at running back. We mentioned the scenario already with the fact that Ricky Ali went down. I wonder if Gabe Bushelman will see some time at running back, number 15.
Yeah, because Ricky Ali is actually one of the backups. He was one of the primary guys on the offensive side, but due to his injuries, he's just strictly playing defense.
Blackman's back out there. There comes Ronald, number 4.
Yeah, we'll see how he holds up.
Dale Jones, the center, has the football, the returning starter who likes drawing and art. 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. Another Columbus Wild Dog first down. And Berger wants to throw. Wanting and doing it are two different things. Finds a little gap, scoots to the outside, and gets what he can before Kidwell comes up from the secondary to help make the hit. Short gain on the play, but positive yardage with 7:34 left to go.
You know, way too much time if you're a defensive coach to have that quarterback sitting back there just kind of looking downfield, trying to pick you apart. Good job going through his progressions, and then he slips out the back door.
Offense, number 68. 10-yard penalty. You play first down.
So a holding call, a flag on the far side of the field is going to march it back from Joe Volpio and company.
Now we know why he had so much time back there.
You didn't encourage that as a running back, did you, to your lineman?
To hold?
Yeah.
Only if it was going to help avoid a dangerous situation.
Only if they don't get caught, right? Mark the ball back to the 13-yard line.
Only holding if they see it.
They need 22 yards to move the sticks. Berger's got plenty of time. Little middle screen set up. Is there a gap? Not much of one, but they make what they can out of it. Blackman scoots up to around the 20-yard line. Good idea, and that time Ronald just lost his balance a little bit. A lot of traffic there. Going to mark it officially at the 19-yard line.
That was actually Kane Baker.
14.
Kane Baker came from that slot. They just had him dive inside, number 14.
Yep.
Able to jump inside. A little guy at 5'9", 160-pound junior. Good catch. Good job getting back some of the penalty yardage.
His 7th catch on the season now, good for 56 yards. 6:58 left to go. They need 14 more.
Blitz coming.
And the pass is caught, and they'll get it out to the 23-yard line. That's about it. Good tag team coverage on the play as they get the pass out in the flat, but a couple of Eagles waiting there to knock him to the ground, and Kidwell coming up as well as number 13.
Watch Cole Clay right here. 8. How did he get it through? It looked like he tipped the ball a little bit. That's making him throw it through the picket fence. Cole Clay came from that weak linebacker position, went in there, put his arms up, and somehow that ball got right through the picket fence.
Cam Bahane also on the hit. Cole Clay, a guy that goes 5'9" and 175, but he can elevate. So big down play here at 3rd and 9. They have that big play they need. Looking, and Berger's going to toss it long downfield. Jump ball tipped around and incomplete on the play. Intended for big number 24, and that is Brendan Raymond, and coverage on the play by Owen Wilcox in the secondary.
You know, that is perfect defense this time. We saw an interference in the previous series. This time a very similar throw, ball thrown up, and watch how the defender plays the football instead of the man, and he's able to go in there and high point it and not create a possible interference situation. Good job of playing defense.
By the free safety and Mr. Wilcox. So punting situation now for the Lions. Dylan Scott, 5'11", 190, averages 32.7 per kick, standing back at his own 10-yard line. Decent snap. And will they scoop it up? Kidwell will back away from the football, and they'll watch it trickle inside the 35, inside the 30, And all the way down inside the 29-yard line, that's where the Eagles will take over on the other side of this break, halfway through the second quarter. Knotted at 14. What a game in week number 3 here on the CW Columbus. All right, Jeff, here's your question. How far would you go for power? The international thriller Devils, starring Patrick Dempsey, premieres on the CW Columbus on Wednesday, October the 7th at 8 p.m. Another CW must-watch show this fall. How far, Jeff, would you go for power?
To the end of the earth, my friend. To the end of the earth.
I think you've been there. Rushing so far, Kidwell 13 carries, 52 yards. Fudge 7 for 32. The quick pop out here. It goes to Wilcox, who's wrapped out of bounds at around the 34-yard line. Hit made on the play by Tristan Cook-Fisher.
Quick out. This is almost like a sweep play, Randy. You're just going to get the ball out to him. And what you don't want your receiver doing is having to turn all the way around and then get squared back up. Get that ball out in front of him. Don't make him turn and be blind to the defense. Lead the receiver a little bit.
Picked up 4 in that first down play. So the handoff this time. They'll get the ball up to around the 37-yard line, as that time Fudge was backing his way to get to the 37-yard line. And look at the sea of blue just waiting for him right there, and trying to unsort that pile is not easy. Legs, arms, everything.
I can tell you as a former running back, there are some funny things that happen in that pile.
What happens down there, Jeff? Come on.
It's a fraternity we can't discuss.
No biting or scratching, is there?
No, it's all safe. But
hair pulling?
There is some, there's comments, there's stuff that go on down there we just can't talk about.
I think we just did. 3rd down and 3. Closer to 2. And boy, a great job by that defense of the Lions to stuff it right at the line of scrimmage. A couple of guys came shooting through there just to nail it. You can see number 40 there helping to make the hit. Also 44 teaming up on that play as well, too. So great job by Kamari Burns and Tyree Johnson, among others. Watch that. Good job by Burns. See, he stands up the offensive lineman and the running back and gets through to help make the hit.
Yeah, Elijah Smith playing that nose guard position, dominated the center on that play and created opportunities for those linebackers to come up and make the play. Certainly a kicking situation.
You would think. But 4th down and 2, and they hurry up the line of scrimmage. They can shift out of this because, remember, he is the punter as well, too.
Oh, and a quick timeout.
Burn a timeout.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Lions burn a timeout.
I think they were just going to go back into punt formation.
Yeah, exactly.
That's their first of the half.
That's the advantage of having a quarterback who's the punter.
Yeah. You can't take them with you, so you might as well use them, and Bruce Ward's going to make sure his football team, again, early in the season, there's still a lot of coaching moments for these coaches.
And speaking of the coaches, as the first half comes to a close, stick around and we'll hear from both head coaches, including the leading coach first going in at halftime in the Bob Evans Coaches Corner with our very own Mike Todd. Now, we do have a tiebreaker. If we are tied at halftime, then the home team coach will be the first to be interviewed. We have our own tiebreaker for that.
I want to see them both there.
At the same time?
With Mike Todd.
Mike can handle them.
Tell us all your secrets that you're going to tell your team at halftime.
You saw Mike flexing before the game, didn't you?
Hey, Coach Kidwell, you see him in there with his fist up right now talking to his football team. Randy, you may have talked about this already. You realize Bubba Kidwell was a quarterback here at Gahanna?
Well, on top of that,
really a good one, too.
Think about what has happened to him in the last year. After the first game of the season, he had chest pains. It turned out he had a heart episode. And so really had to back off, but only did that for about a week or so, but handed over some of the coaching duties to his assistants and realized how blessed he was to have such a strong staff. And look at this 4th down play here. And a whistle. And a timeout now going to be taken by New Albany. Trying to draw him offside, Jeff, to no avail.
Timeout. New Albany. That's their first of the half.
Jeff, the next timeout is on you. Just a reminder, we're only halfway through the season. Join us next Friday at 7 p.m. for a special edition of Honda's Thursday Night Lights. Don't miss the Bears of Olentangy Berlin taking on the Celtics of Dublin Jerome. That should be a lot of fun in that contest. The Celtics, Bob Guesquich.
That means I get to walk to the game.
Oh, my goodness.
How about that?
I got to do that for the Derby game in week 1, so I can't complain. I've got to ask you something as we look at that matchup. When do we get the debut, or in your case the debut, of Logan's Heroes?
Well, I can tell you that the scene has been set.
Oh, boy.
And the expectations are overwhelming, but I think maybe next week.
short drop, and there's the
goodness.
kick. It's a short kick with a short drop. He missed that one.
Looked like a Randy Reinhardt 9-iron.
Dog leg right.
Dead shank.
So not the result they wanted for that young man, who normally does a great job punting.
Yeah, I mean, it took 2 timeouts to get to that stage, and really, from an execution standpoint, not what New Albany was looking for with 4 minutes and 25 seconds remaining.
Jeff, is there the tendency to rush it when you go with that short drop back then, too, and feel a little pressure?
Yeah, I mean, you normally are going to set back there a good 12 to 15 yards waiting for that snap on regular punt formation. Then you have the quarterback just take a few steps back with a quick kick. And they practice it a lot, Randy, but in that instance, they just did not execute very well.
Just under 10 yards in that punt, 4:25 left to go, and our back judge is going to stop the action before we start. Come over here and talk to the line judge. And talk to our umpire. Well, let's get the referee over there and our linesman, and we'll have everybody.
The boss isn't joining in.
No. Joe's backed off to the 45-yard line.
After discussion, it was determined the ball went out of bounds in the air at the 45-yard line. First down.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
Good job by the back judge, Ben Jordan Downs, to notate that.
Good explanation.
Thank you, Joe. They don't take tips, though. I don't think so.
I don't know if you noticed Marcus White down there having the conversation with the attorney, or with the ref, and his dad's an attorney,
There you go.
I think that's where he's headed.
This is Blackman off the right side. There is a gap. Can he break it to the outside? Ronald does. To the 20, to the 10, and that leg looks healthy right now.
Yeah.
Blackman takes it in, and he does so from 44 yards out, and that is his 3rd touchdown now in his contest, and make it 20-14 in favor of the Lions.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that, Hammy. He was able to not only increase the speed and shove it into high gear, but watch here as he's able to pick his way through that secondary. And how about the downfield blocking by Gahanna Lincoln? They got linemen down there. They got receivers down there making plays. And Ronald Blackman off to a terrific half.
Dallas Gerhardt for the extra point to make it a 7-point cushion. They nearly got a piece of that one, but it just makes it inside the right upright to make it a 7-point cushion now at 21-14. This guy has had a career already this night, and a guy that earlier looked like he wouldn't be playing anymore in this game got healthy after that contact. I really think that helmet to the leg there just kind of shook him up a little bit.
Now, Randy, if you're playing defensive back, this is what you're seeing. You got to get up there and make the play, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 Eagles had opportunities, and Ronald Blackman kept making people miss. So glad to see that he's healthy and able to play. He's a pretty good athlete.
Actually, officially, we'll call that a 45-yard touchdown run for that guy, who's well over 100 yards rushing so far in this first half alone. Don't forget, we have to pick a Rally's player of the game, and right now, he could be the leading candidate. A lot of offense already in this contest, too, with 5 touchdowns in this game, but New Albany with a chance to answer.
Boy, mistakes in special teams, the kicking game, a really bad kick, and execution of the quick kick was really the disaster.
Take a look now at your Hilliard Lawn and Garden scoring summary, and that was fast. 45 yards, 9 seconds, boom. Just like that, they get the lead back again. Elusive guy who can make things happen. That's how he's described by head coach Bruce Ward. I concur with that assessment of his talent. Here's the boot by Molly. And the return going to start from the 9-yard line. Right up the gut. And Kidwell's going to get up to around the 30-yard line. That's where he stopped, and that's where the Eagles will start on offense now with 4:09 left to go. Blackman now 10 carries, 139 yards, 3 touchdowns. At the end of the second quarter, it's the Music Go Round halftime show. Tonight, Mike Todd profiles the Gahanna Lincoln High School marching band as well as others as he provides us a peek into their halftime performance. That's Mike Todd on the Music Go Round halftime show, so check that one out. Mike's a man of many talents. He is a musician as well, too, you know.
Michael?
Oh, he's got guitars, I know that. I guess having them and playing them are 2 different things.
I was gonna say.
Kidwell on the handoff that time off the left side.
Does he own them, refinish them, or does he play them?
I think he should entertain at his Dairy Queen. That would be something. That would melt the ice cream. Take a look at this one more time. Up the hash goes Kidwell.
Again, this is just that trap play up the middle. Not very sexy in terms of execution, but a very efficient way of running the ball.
And this time it is Fudge who cuts it back inside. He'll get up to the 37-yard line. The other thing I noticed about Brock Kidwell, Jeff, is, and you'll appreciate this as a running back, the first hit does not bring him down.
Yeah, he's good about making sure that he's balanced out there. And when he sees the pressure coming, he prepares himself for it and never gives anybody that direct shot.
It was funny that time because Fudge handed the ball to Tibbetts. He goes, I don't get it, give it to the center. So he hands it off. They got whistles down on the field. And we have a timeout taken by the Eagles. They will burn their second.
Obviously some confusion down there in the offensive set that they wanted.
New Albany, that's their second timeout of the half.
So with 3:13 left to go, we have our third break in the action. Hey, we know mornings are different, but Good Day Columbus on ABC 6 and Fox 28 remain on your side from the moment you get out of bed. From overnight changes to what's happening in your neighborhood. Be sure to wake up with Kurt, Jessica, Buck, and Katie every weekday morning for Good Day Columbus on ABC 6 and Fox 28. I do it. You should too. I stick around though and watch Sean and Phil a lot of times as well too, and Cameron and the whole crew. Cameron cut his teeth with us.
He did
that?
We made him.
That's right.
Yeah, we made him.
Now we know who to blame, right?
Exactly.
Jeff, the timeout was taken by New Albany. You just think they weren't on the same page?
Yeah, they did not have the formation that they wanted. Quarterback was kind of forcing people around. They decided to go ahead and take the timeout.
4-yard average for Brock Kidwell so far, and they're going to try to bust that running play up to the 40-yard line, and they're going to be near the sticks.
It's going to be one of those that's really, really close, and I think they had to cross the 40.
And we also have a flag on the play.
Illegal shift. Offense. 2 players in motion without coming to a complete stop. 5-yard penalty. Replay third down.
So it'll make it a third and longer now. Mark the ball back around the 32, maybe exactly the 32-yard line. We'll make it third down and a long 8 from there. 3:07 left to go. New Albany with 1 timeout remaining. Gahanna Lincoln with 2. Remember, New Albany got the ball to start the contest, so the Lions will get the ball to start the second half. New Albany, a team that on the ground averages 287 yards of offense and then 94 yards passing. Third down conversions, they're at 29.6%, 8 of 27 coming into this game. And Fudge on the ground on a 3rd and 8 will get the first down. He'll pick up about 13 yards and move the sticks for the Eagles.
Boy, just when you think that offense is dead in the water on a negative down and distance for what they do, they're able to come up with the big play. And Jaden Fudge got himself going north and south, which is terrific, and he got a great lead block by Jerron Webster, playing that right guard position, leading the way. 2-time starter, 2-year starter, I should say, for New Albany.
A great quiet leader. They describe him as a guy that's also great on the traps and never misses the weight room. On this first down play, rolling, holding, Tibbetts and gunning it, and the pass incomplete. The intended receiver in the neighborhood was number 4, and that is Jack Daly.
Yeah, good job getting rid of the football, basically. I mean, nobody was going to be able to catch that ball, and all the receivers were covered. Get back in the huddle and live another day.
He had plenty of time. The funny thing is, too, when I look at Fudge handing the ball to Tibbetts, there's such a difference in size. It looks like little brother and big brother out there, yet Fudge is the guy, number 24, that will fight for every yard he can find, even though he goes about 155. You see his number so far on the evening. He'll get the ball again. Nice little cut move, and look at that. Gets away from the contact. That is not a guy that runs at 155. He's got the first down with 2:13 left to go.
Boy, that ends up being a touchdown-saving tackle by Tyree Johnson. Really good. The balance here, Randy, is spectacular.
Nice run that time to get the ball down to the 37-yard line, as on that play, he'll pick up 29 yards down the sidelines. On the ground, they keep it this time, and working his way outside is Fudge, and Jaden all the way down to the 26-yard line. That'll be another first down with 1:51 left to go, and they're doing this, Jeff, on the ground.
Yeah, watch again what Brock Kidwell does. He's the lead back, who is the blocker here, number 7, right out there in front. So he's the enforcer out there. Look at him taking on 2 different blue jerseys, creates an additional 5 yards by blocking downfield.
Gain 11 on the play, 1st and 10 now from the 26-yard line. This is Fudge again. He gets it inside the 25 all the way down to the 20 as he careens off one defensive player, and has a nice gain on first down with 90 seconds left to go. So now we'll see if the Eagles have a bit more of a sense of urgency as they bring a play in courtesy of A.C. Klaus. And Parker Smith, the wingback, will check out. Jeff, do you have to throw the ball?
Well, I don't know that you have to throw the ball. You're having some success here running the football, and now Gahanna looks like they maybe want to take a timeout, and they're gassed over there from a defensive standpoint. And Bruce Ward's going to give them a chance to catch their breath.
That's their second of the half.
Each team has one timeout remaining in the waning moments of the first half. Gahanna Lincoln comes in at 1-1. New Albany comes in at 2-0, both in the OCC Ohio, under the new revamping, if you will, of the different divisions of the OCC. Ken Baker, by the way, the commissioner of the league, will be joining us in week number 6 on that Thursday night when Pickerington Central takes on Reynoldsburg. So we'll be honored to have him on. Also have the commissioner a week before that of the Mid-State League, Jim Hayes, joining us as well, too.
I want to show you a teaching moment here, Randy. As we watch Jaden Fudge, he's in that tailback spot. And here's the lead here. I want to see the very next play, so I'm going to get our replay guys to give us the next play that followed this. That was the great lead block by Brock Kidwell. Now watch here. Stop right now. And what's happening is he is seeing that defensive end working upfield. Now go ahead. He plants that left foot. Boom. Right there. They're able to cut it up inside. Nice effort. Really good job.
Second down at 5 now from the 21-yard line. Tibbetts wants to throw, looking long, has a man wide open. Nobody picked him up. It's a touchdown. It's a second score for A.C. Klaus. And it's another Ramos Roofing touchdown with 1:06 left to go, and the margin just 1 point.
Boy, how about that, Randy? This drive was dead in the water just a minute or two ago with long down and distance, and this New Albany offense found ways to grind it out. And then you go to your senior quarterback, Brock Tibbetts, and he's able to find a wide open receiver in the corner of the end zone. And A.C. Klaus has another score.
He had 3 catches last week against Grove City. He's got 2 for touchdowns. Big number 3 celebrating as this game now after the extra point by Ian Hoff is knotted at 21 with 1:06 left to go. Jeff, we have time for 2 more touchdowns.
How about this? We knew we were going to see some dynamic offenses coming into this football game. New Albany 2-0. They won their first game against Lancaster 20-13. That was a home game for them. They followed that up with a home game win against Grove City 23-7. After tonight's game, Randy, the rest of their 6-game schedule during the regular season, they'll be home to Westland. They'll be home against Pick North, and they'll finish the regular season at Westerville Central.
You want to talk about schedules, Jeff? And let's do that while we have some time. Gahanna Lincoln last year played Elder, Dublin Kaufman, Hartley, New Albany, Westerville Central, Pick Central, Reynoldsburg, Lancaster, Grove City, and Pick North.
Thank you.
The foes were 68-21. They won 14 playoff games, and they played both teams that were in the D1 state final. There's your Hilliard Lawn and Garden scoring summary as they did 11 plays in just over 3 minutes. I don't know anyone that's ever had a schedule like the Lions had last year. They couldn't sleep tonight or any night. With 1:06 left to go, Hoff with the honors. And we'll keep it away from Blackman, and they'll corral it right at the 27-yard line, and that's where the Lions will start. Is it more the running game right now, do you think, as Jake Barton falls on the football?
No, they're not going to do anything silly out here, Randy, but I think they're going to continue to gunsling it here with 1:05 to go. We got 1 timeout remaining for Gahanna Lincoln. They get an opportunity on this first play where they got positive yardage. Expect them to open up the offense, try and get 1 more score. Now, again, as you mentioned, they will get the ball to start the second half as well.
Berger to run the show. Trey Pierce of the defense. They will hand it off and get a nice gain from Blackman, who refuses to go down and carries defenders for an additional 8 yards all the way up to the 42-yard line. And then at the end, New Albany says they have the football, but they're going to say the ball was down even though Jesse Gordon had the football.
A little slow getting up again was Ronald Blackman, but watch again, the run goes right up the middle. The officials said the ball was down, or the ball carrier was down. And I think that was the right call.
He ripped it out at the end.
Yeah, he strips him at the very end.
Gain of 17 on the play, 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. And that time he stumbles as he got to the line of scrimmage and goes down right there. So now with 38 seconds left to go, let's see what the Lions do. They're going to face probably a second down and just about 10 again.
Now I think Coach Ward recognizing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. Don't be surprised if Trey Berger doesn't put this ball up.
They may burn their last time out. And the Lions do with 26 seconds left to go. I think right now the scenario is it's precious when it comes to the clock.
That's their last timeout of the half.
Thank you, Joe. So they're going to take some time. And, you know, Jeff, if you have a good trick play, this is the time to run it if you're the Lions, even though you're going to get the ball to start the second half. I think Bruce Ward really feels a sense of urgency to make a statement in a game like this. New Albany comes in at 2-0. And Gahanna Lincoln comes in at 1-1. Now, the one thing that is different this year, Jeff, is there's no pressure about making the playoffs, right? Does that change anything?
Well, I think it does a little bit, Randy. You obviously want, to have a winning record. You want to feel like you deserve to be in the playoffs. But most importantly, you got to get momentum going in a very shortened season. So if you got off to a rough start, and if you looked at if you look at Gahanna in this situation, they don't want to go into week 4 with a 1-3 or 1-2 record. They're 1-1 right now. They sorely need this win.
26 ticks left on the clock in the first half. Blackman's going to exit the backfield. So they go with 3 wide at the top. Pressure on, and they get through to him. As Cole Clay came blitzing through from the outside, made the hit on the play as Berger, as he tried to reverse his field, lost his balance.
Well, he saw that blitz coming on the last series. They decided to send the big senior again, and you could see quarterback Trey Berger saw him in his rearview mirror, and he had to bail out.
And that'll do it for the first half. The Lions now run another play, and what a talented group we've seen from New Albany and Gahanna Lincoln. And we are knotted at 3 scores apiece. And what a performance by Ronald Blackman in the first half of the Lions. And when you look at the squad from New Albany, they've been able to mix it up. And, Jeff, the run and the pass have been very effective and leading to a couple long passes to Klaus for touchdowns.
Normally these teams that run the wing T, Randy, really struggle with some bad down and distance situations. But I give a lot of credit to New Albany and Coach Bubba Kidwell and the execution of his football team for being able to get out of those negative down and distance situations and come up with big scores.
So we are tied here at 21 at the half, and Mike Todd is going to try to corral the head coach of the Lions and get him to come over and talk to us as Bruce Ward, a guy that, does more than just coach football. When you talk about Coach Ward, he's also the guy that runs a number of different programs here at Gahanna Lincoln High School. In fact, he is the supervisor for the Digital Academy, which is credit recovery for the 44-year-old head coach. He's got a career mark of 72 and 46 and a school mark of 35 and 32. And right now, he is standing by with our Mike Todd in the Bob Evans Coach's Corner.
All right, Bruce. Tight game so far. What were your takeaways from the first half?
They get to the line and run the play quick. We got to get our defense set. I think we had some issues with that early. And then we just keep running the ball. I think we got away from the run there for a minute. It cost us a series of downs, and we got to get back to what we do best, and that's run the ball. So.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time. Good luck in the second half. Guys, back to you.
Again, Jeff, what we alluded to, the quick hitter by that offense with that wing T by New Albany. 21 all. The tally here. The Music Go Round halftime show just around the corner. This is a special Friday edition of Honda's Thursday Night Lights presented by Columbus State Community College on the CW Columbus.
Raising Cane's is proud to recognize Central Ohio's Scholar Athlete of the Week. Brock Tibbetts is a starter for the New Albany High School football team with varsity letters for football, basketball, and baseball. He's a preseason baseball All-American and is committed to Indiana University. Brock carries a 3.85 GPA and has completed multiple AP courses. Plus, he's a member of the National Honor Society. Congratulations to this outstanding Raising Cane's Scholar Athlete.
You are watching the Music Go Round halftime show on Thursday Night Lights, the Friday edition on the CW Columbus. Gahanna Lincoln and New Albany are tied at 21. Earlier today, I was able to talk to the leader of the Marching Golden Lions of Gahanna Lincoln. We are now joined by the band director of the Golden Lions Marching Band. This is Rob Seabrack. Rob, thank you so much for joining us here on Thursday Night Lights. Well, first and foremost, what's upcoming for the Marching Golden Lions here at Gahanna Lincoln?
Well, this is our first home game. And we only have one other home game after that, and that's going to be in 2 weeks on the 25th, and that'll be another important night. And then we're hoping to have some parking lot performances that the band's going to do at various middle schools here in Gahanna. And then the week after our last home game on October 2nd, we're going to put on 2 performances here just for our parents.
Oh, that's going to be great. Now, this time of the pandemic has been challenging for everyone, but especially for our student musicians. How have they handled all of this adversity?
They have been outstanding. Our seniors put together a band council of about 12 or 13 students, and they've done a lot of things to try and make every rehearsal a special event and to keep all the kids engaged. They've been so enthusiastic about coming back. It's been wonderful.
Now, tonight is senior night, and tonight they're going to be recognizing the football players as well as the cheerleaders, but the senior musicians for the Marching Golden Lions, that's coming up a little bit later, isn't that right?
That's right. We've divided it up. There are so many seniors here at Gahanna, so football and cheerleaders this Friday night, and then in 2 weeks we'll recognize all the band seniors. There's about 49 or 50 of them.
All right, well, Rob Seabriak, the band director for the Marching Golden Lions here at Gahanna Lincoln. A lot of great musicians out there, some Marching Golden Lions, including one Miss Anna Sophia Brecher. Coming up, more of the Music Around Halftime Show. You're watching Honda's Thursday Night Lights, Friday edition on the CW Columbus.
To recognize Central Ohio's Scholar Athlete of the Week. Adam Sophocleus is the starting left guard for the Gahanna Lincoln High School football team. He carries a 4.4 GPA and is a member of the National Honor Society and has completed multiple advanced placement courses. Adam participates in several fundraising events and volunteers in the community with the Gahanna Youth Football Camp. Congratulations to this outstanding Raising Cane Scholar Athlete.
And welcome back to the Music Around Halftime Show. We're at the break right now, tied at 21 in this contest between New Albany and Gahanna Lincoln. This is a special Friday edition of Honda's Thursday Night Lights, presented by Columbus State Community College. Randy Reinhardt alongside Jeff Logan. Very impressive offensive show by both teams in the first half.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, they surprised us a little bit because the team that we thought was going to maybe throw the ball more, they ended up running the ball very successfully, Gahanna, and I was surprised by the passing that New Albany had.
A lot of highlights, 6 touchdowns. We'll look at all of them. The customary cool plays the first half. Brock Tibbetts, 32 yards to AC Klaus to get us going. Hoff added the PAT just like that. It was 7-0, but Blackman and company would answer.
Yeah, and Ron Blackman ends up, he's going to have a terrific first half. This is at the beginning of the football game. He takes it to the house here, and this is just a beginning of things to come.
That one was 43 yards. It was too long, so let's go shorter this next time because Ronald's going to take it off the right side for 8 yards. After the Gerhardt kick, it was 14-7 in front of the Lions, but then New Albany would answer, and Jaden Fudge would do the honors.
Now, again, J.D. Fudge gives a little bit of a shake out there, is able to take it into the end zone, showing his own speed and ability to get into the end zone.
Knotted us at 14 apiece, and it was Blackman again, this time from 45 yards out.
Yeah, this is touchdown number 3 for this young man. Had a terrific first half, and when you're running the ball as well as they are, why put it up in the air?
Then A.C. Klaus and Tibbetts would connect one more time from 21 yards for an easy touchdown, and with the extra point, Jeff, we're knotted at 21.
His second touchdown catch of the game, and pretty good job by Tibbetts finding that open receiver. And again, New Albany, which is a run-oriented football team, taking advantage of good fakes there and throwing the football.
Mike Todd is standing by with the head coach of the Eagles right now.
Well, Bob, a great contest that first half. What was the message to your team at halftime?
Defense needs to keep controlling the ball like they have been, moving the ball down the field. They're doing a great job. Defensive-wise, we need to make Gahanna work and try to make them earn their first downs. We didn't make them earn too much. It came pretty easy for them in this half.
All right, Coach, appreciate your time. Good luck in the second half. Guys, back to you.
Mike, thank you very much. We're knotted at 21. Here are the stats from the first 2 quarters of action, and plenty of offense and no miscues in the first half.
Yeah, and, you know, New Albany yet to turn the football over. Maybe that's the bad luck for them bringing it up, but no turnovers at all. Surprising stat on there, I think, Randy. Only 16 passing yards for Gahanna Lincoln.
Blackman, 154 yards rushing. On the other side, Fudge, 93 for New Albany. Tied at 21, the second half around the corner on the CW Columbus. Welcome back to Wilbur C. Straight Senior Field here on the campus of Gahanna Lincoln High School as we start the second half. Ready for the kickoff now. New Albany with the honors to kick it off. And tonight's kickoff of the second half is sponsored by Ohio University. Your path to success guaranteed. Jeff, an entertaining first half. Will we see more offense in the second half, or do you make those defensive adjustments at halftime?
Well, I'll be curious to see if you're able to kind of harness the running game on each side. But I think we got two really good running backs here in this football game. They're going to be tough to bring down.
Ian Hoff will go with a line drive kick, trying to keep it away from Redmond, and they'll keep it away from everybody, and scooped up finally back around the 10-yard line. On the return, it is Tristan Cook-Fisher, and they ran a long way to get the ball up to around the 12-yard line, and that's where the Lions will start on offense. Gahanna Lincoln 1-1. A team that in week one got throttled by Reynoldsburg 48-14, but turnovers early in that contest really a bugaboo for the squad from Gahanna Lincoln. Then they beat Westland 49-7. And for New Albany coming in at 2-0 with wins over Lancaster 20-13 and 23-7 over Grove City. The numbers on Ronald Blackman so far in this contest, on pace for a 300-yard game and already 3 touchdowns. And Jeff, you talked about his average of 13 yards per carry. Not quite there yet.
He's
but
pretty
close.
darn close,
Yeah.
though. Very impressive.
1st and 10 on this Columbus Wild Dogs first down, and Blackman nothing to the left, fights back the right. We'll pick up a couple of yards on the play. And the Wild Dogs want you to know that if you need help with the community initiative, you can go to ColumbusWildDogs.com as the Indoor Football League and the Columbus team will begin play in 2022.
You know, the one adjustment I think that New Albany's got to make on a defensive side is to make sure that they don't lose contain on the outside. It's happened to them a couple times in the first half, and Blackman has made them pay for it.
So a gain on the play out to just past the 14-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8 from there for Berger and company. And this time on the keep, around the right side, a little loose with the football, gets it out to around the 15-yard line, and that is it. That's big number 8 again, who made a big blitzing move in the waning moments of the first half as Cole Clay comes through to make the hit.
Running to the boundary side, the short side of the field, hoping to expose the defense.
Cole Clay's a guy that's got speed north, south, east, west. You can tell that just by watching him. And also good pursuit on the play by number 60 for the Eagles. That's Ben Stahl, the big defensive lineman. That guy also has a twin sister who's a cheerleader at New Albany High School. Gain of 1 after all that. We'll call it 3rd and 7 from right at the 15-yard line with one man in motion. And Berger wants to throw, looking left, pressure on. The roll to his right. Can he get up to the 20-yard line? He cannot. Stopped shy by the Eagle defense, and that'll set up a punting situation.
That's a great job of containing that quarterback who is a dangerous runner when he decides to take off. And good defense, obviously, in the secondary. Nobody to throw to, and the pressure again coming from Cole Clay. Looks like what they've done is they're rotating that weak side linebacker up, and they're allowing him to blitz and go active after the quarterback, and that screwed that play opposite. Randy, the thing that set this up was the poor kick return, not fielding the football when they had a chance.
Dylan Scott to punt, standing back at his own 4-yard line now. Big 48's got it, going to the right with this kick. Going to hit at the 43-yard line and take an Eagle bounce and go back a yard. That's where it's down by the line. So New Albany will get the ball to start the second half for the first time, tied at 21. Well, you can rewatch or share tonight's game and the entire 2020 season, for that matter, of Honda's Thursday Night Lights by visiting our YouTube channel at youtube.com/WSYX on your side and look for the 2020 Thursday Night Lights playlist. Don't be confused, though, because this is a Friday, but you're watching Thursday Night Lights. Got to work with Jeff on that a couple times, but I think he's got it straight now.
Just point me in the right direction.
There you go. Dublin Jerome next week. That's where we're pointing you.
I can get there.
Boy, the offensive line left too quickly that time, I think, so we'll see what Joe Volpio and company have to say, but we could have a false start on the offense.
Boy, it looked like the center just sprinted
Dead
out
ball.
there.
False start. Offense, number 89. 5-yard penalty, down remains 1.
So march it back 5. It'll be 1st and 15 for the Eagles. Fudge mentioned 13 carries, 93 yards in the first half. The team 18 for 153 as Kidwell had 15 carries for 60. So talk about balance, 15 and 13 carries respectively. For Tibbetts and company, wants to dump it in the flat. Ooh! Was that still held on to? It was. It bounced back up. And Owen Wilcox caught it twice, and then he caught it from Job Dangerfield, living up to his last name.
Now watch Joe Dangerfield just come up, and, man, this is perfect.
Hurt me just watching. And watch this. He catches it again. Is that 2 catches on one play?
You know, it'd be interesting to see. He was down at that point, so had that ball been picked up, there's no question that the ball would have been dead at that stage, and it was a reception.
All that, no gain on that play, by the way, is Kidwell will take the handoff and get it up near midfield. So think about that. Took the contact, caught the ball twice for no gain. So now they set up a 3rd down, and after that penalty, they still need more than 10 yards to move the sticks. And there's Brock Kidwell, whose brother Brody just graduated from New Albany. Father-son conference right there. And in fact, Coach Kidwell, Bubba's dad, Tim, is upstairs here as an assistant coach. I've known him for about 30 years.
Quite a family affair.
Tibbetts looking, pumping, nothing there, rolling, and now he's going to lead his tight end. And nicely done down the sidelines to the 35-yard line and then some. And he's got enough for the first down. Second catch by Braden Elwer.
Oh, they love when the tight end catches the football. Braden Elwer has a couple of big catches. And how about the execution by Brock Tibbetts? He went through his progressions, found his tight end, and this is putting touch on the ball, letting the big man catch it, and look at him delivering the blow. You know, a year ago, that tight end was Patrick Gerd, the son of former Ohio State Buckeye Andy Gerd. And Patrick is a walk-on tight end at the Ohio State University.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line of the Lions. Another Columbus Wild Dogs first down to boot. And we had whistles before the start of the play. That timeout going to be taken by New Albany.
New Albany.
Coaches saw something in the formation they didn't like.
That's their first.
We'll take a break. Tied at 21. More of the 3rd quarter just around the corner on the CW Columbus. New Albany on the move on their first possession of the second half. We're tied at 21 here in week number 3 of Honda's Thursday Night Lights, a special Friday edition presented by Columbus State Community College. So the Eagles burned the timeout. As you mentioned, Jeff, something wasn't copacetic what the coaches saw, so they go ahead and burn the timeout, and maybe they're trying to contemplate what to do on a 4th down and 1, and that's exactly what the scenario is. They rush to the line. It's the keeper by Tibbetts, and you push the pile. In the old days, you could not do that, but now you can do that and not be called for helping runner, and they push Tibbetts across the line for the first down, and it will move the sticks and keep the drive alive.
That's pushing a lot of meat in there, because look at the big old guys from Gahanna, but look at the domination by that offensive line. They got the surge.
Watch Kidwell. He just pushes on the back of the quarterback. 2 hands out and just, boom, pushes Tibbetts ahead.
Michael Martin, we've talked about him, 73, doing a good job of clogging up the middle.
And speaking up the middle, that's where they go with Brock Kidwell. As this time we go from one Brock to another, and Kidwell has got the first down inside the 20-yard line. They'll move the sticks again, and the Eagles on the move.
Look at the blocking. Second level blocking is what creates these kinds of runs. And look at the guys with the high numbers. The offensive linemen in that second level coming up with blocks.
Cade Leggio leading the way, the left guard there, 5'9", 190, likes football and lacrosse and enjoys watching Bob Ross eating food and hitting people. It's America to me. And to the outside goes Fudge inside the 20-yard line down to around the 17 before Jaden is brought down on the play.
Boy, and speaking of delivering the blow, and he's a little slow getting up at the end of that play. Very aggressive tackle. You know, watch here from the end zone. Great shot. You can see the linebackers fly into the ball. And look at the contact that is made right there at the tail end. Looked like Jaden Yates finishing things off.
They say more physical this year than he was last year, and he was very physical as a freshman. And just think, 2 more years of Jaden as a middle linebacker. Checking in with the play from the sidelines now is Daly.
Looks like they're having a little bit of difficulty getting the package in that they want.
And Kidwell's going to check out inside the Scott Schiff and Associates red zone.
Going to need to be careful with the play clock here. They've been very deliberate getting to the line of scrimmage.
Hand goes up, 4, 3, and they snap it in time. And Fudge has got a gap inside the 15, pushes, and the surge all the way inside the 10-yard line. And look at that. Somehow he came out of there, Jeff, and made it all the way down near the 7.
Oh, I talked about second-level blocking by the offensive line. That is second-level effort by the running back, Jaden Fudge. Watch again. This play looks like it's dead in the water, stopped right here, but he's not given up. The officials don't blow the whistle because he had not stopped his forward progress. Oh, a little bit of a bobble there at the mesh point. But again, this is just grit, taking that ball inside the 10-yard line.
He's over 100 yards rushing, first and goal from the 8-yard line. Kidwell, nope, not going to do it this time. And the man you talked about a little earlier coming through to make the hit, that is Michael Martin. And Michael was a big force that time, 300 pounds. And he can do that. He can take a guy, lift him up, and do a do-si-do and twirl him down.
Yeah, and they're cautioning him about, the high tackle, but that was executed perfectly. And a guy that big, that athletic, to be able to make that kind of a play is pretty impressive.
So there is a gain on the play. March the ball down to around the 6-yard line. It'll be second down and goal from there, just about halfway through quarter number 3. With Fudge in the backfield, off the right side, has a gap inside the 2, the 1. Does he break the plane? Yes, touchdown, count it. 27-21, another Ramos Roofing touchdown. For free estimate on your roof, text or call 614-761-ROOF. They hit the roof with that one. The lead is now 6 for the Eagles.
I was watching the right guard, Jaron Webster, who was doing a great job on the trap block there, and it created the opportunity.
And watch Liggio on the pull, 67 too.
Look at all the execution and all the moving parts. And again, this is a team that has not had that many practices.
The snap and the kick by Hoff is up, and the cushion back up to 7 points. New Albany now. Hold serve, 28-21. What will the Lions do? We'll find out together. Week number 3, a special Friday edition of Honda's Thursday Night Lights, presented by Columbus State Community College in one place on the CW Columbus. It's the Eagles up now by 7 over the Golden Lions, 28-21. Time now to check your Hilliard Lawn and Garden scoring summary. 10 plays, 43 yards, and just under 4 minutes. And I was watching Jaden Fudge, and, Jeff, he's trying to not cramp up along the sidelines. He's been trying to stretch those legs out and stay loose for the winning moments of this contest. Is that difficult once you start to feel something give in your leg?
It is, and he's doing the right thing over there, doing as much stretching as he possibly can and trying to hydrate.
The return starts from the 12, and it's Mr. Blackman who's got it, and Ronald, he nearly grabbed him by the face mask, it looked like. Got up to around the 25-yard line. So this is where the Lions are going to get it back, and time to make a statement. It's been Blackman who scored the 3 touchdowns for them. We talked about Berger in the passing game, but so far it's been the legs of Ronald in the backfield that's been a difference maker for the Lions.
Well, the first drive that Gahanna Lincoln had the football, nothing to write home about, Randy. 3 and out on that drive with really not great execution. So quarterback Trey Berger has got to get everybody on the same page, and Ronald Blackman obviously a big part of the success of this offense going forward.
Berger, a guy that was an understudy to Will Thomas in the past, used to wear number 5 and was changed to the number 13. Very few guys ever change up to a number 13, Jeff, if you've noticed. Blackman getting a head start, turning the corner, turning those legs, and beating the outside guys and getting a nice gain on the play. As once again, it's Baker at time. Kane Baker on his second carry, coming over from the outside and getting a gain of more than 5 on the play.
Ian Hoff, who's also a linebacker, kicker, plays at linebacker spot number 20 in there helping out as well. And you don't usually see your kickers also serving the role as middle linebacker.
Got a lot more kids from the soccer team now that are kickers that you get one day a week maybe, and perhaps on the walkthrough day as well too. Second down and 6. Blackman waiting for a seam, and boy, they gum it up that time. Sometimes it's good to take that shot to the inside, and that time Blackman thought that was a space to take, but instead they gum it up right near the line of scrimmage. So it'll be third down. They'll still need about 4 or 5 to move the sticks. Coming up at the start of the 4th quarter, we'll join Mike Todd on the Custom Air Heating and Cooling sideline for a conversation with Gahanna Lincoln High School principal Jessica Williams. So we went last night, Jeff, from the smallest schools that we've had on in a long time, in Fisher Catholic and Worthington Christian, to a couple of the larger schools, especially in Gahanna Lincoln here in week number 3. Big play here now, third down, and they need 5 to move the 6.
Blitz coming.
Berger going to go long downfield along the sidelines and overthrows his receiver across the 40-yard line. And we have a penalty flag tossed on the play as well, too, looking for Redmond along the far side.
Again, I'll remind everybody there's no uncatchable football, and that ball was certainly not even thrown anywhere close. But
defense, number 2, 15-yard penalty. Result of play. First down.
Fans still don't understand this to this day. That and the fact that you only need 1 foot in bounds. But watch again. A little arm contact there, a little arm on the shoulder.
A little hand checking going on as they went down the sidelines, and I think that's what the official saw was that arm reached out there. Don't think that gets called very often, though.
First down from the 46-yard line now. Nothing inside, and I tell you what, Blackman has chosen the inside a couple times, Jeff, on these plays, and that's not where the opening seems to be. If he can bounce to the outside, that's where he's made hay a lot of times in this contest.
Well, and what you don't want to do is you don't want to give up too early on that run that is designed to go up inside. We saw his runs early in the football game. Some were on the outside, but his last touchdown run was actually up through the middle. Then he bounced it out. Don't be surprised if he doesn't find a seam up the middle, because right now New Albany is shutting down the corners.
Dale Jones snaps it back, and right up the middle goes the quarterback, Trey Berger, and he's got it across midfield with 4:13 and ticking. When you take a look at it, in fact, on his last 4 carries, Ronald Blackman has 4 yards, Jeff.
See what the offensive line does. We've got the big guard Marcus White pulling on the play, trying to create opportunity for the quarterback to be able to run the ball. And Randy, 3rd and a long 5. They got to get it to about the 39-yard line for the first down.
Is it crazy to think 4-down territory already in this contest?
Not at all. Home game, feeling good about your football team. It all depends on what you do here on 3rd down, though.
Redmond and Raymond to the bottom. And they try to turn it outside, try to string it out, and they get it down to the 48-yard line, and that is it. As Ronald Blackman with a nice gain, you can see the celebration now by big number 13, and that is one of the secondary guys in Cam Bahane who makes the hit on the play.
Well, Cam Bahane comes up and he's able to make this play. And this is what they didn't do as good a job in the first half, was sealing the outside, and they stretched that play, pushed it to the sidelines, brings up a 4th down, and it looks like Gahanna is probably going to punt the football.
Always look for one of the up guys, perhaps, in a situation like this, although back to punt is Dylan Scott on a 4th down and just about 4, under 3 left to go in the 3rd. High snap, snares it, and they do punt it. Line drive kick, and it's going to head out of bounds, and probably not where he wanted it to. So the Eagles will get the ball back, up by 7 with 2:46 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Folks, when it comes to the weather, trust the weather experts. Marshall McPeak and the ABC 6 First Warning weather experts are on your side, helping you prepare for the best and worst Mother Nature has to offer. Tonight on ABC 6 News at 11. And boy, did they do incredible work this past Monday when the storms came rolling through. Jeff, you survived that pretty well?
Yeah, we got a lot of rain up in the Dublin area. Winds were blowing like crazy, but no damage at home.
Unfortunately, I took it at work. A lot of damage, but we'll survive. 1st and 10 from near the 20-yard line. Toss sweep far side. That's Kidwell. Brock with a seam, and he's got nearly 5, perhaps 6 on the play before he's knocked down with 2:38 left to go. You're feeling pretty comfortable right now if you're New Albany on offense, aren't you?
But, you know, you want to feel like you got the momentum going in your direction. You just came off a score. You were able to stop that high-powered Gahanna offense with a punt. And Randy, more importantly, I mentioned how important these first down plays are for the run-oriented team. And when you're able to get 7 yards and leave yourself good down and distance, it really does create an opportunity for New Albany. Maybe even think about putting the ball up in the air here.
Brock Tibbetts, 2nd team All-League last year. Great baseball player as well, too. And that's Fudge, and he's got the first down, and he's got 3 and 4 more. Brought down at the 34-yard line, so they'll move the sticks and continue to evaporate the clock with 2:01 left to go in the 3rd. Jaden Fudge, last week 136 yards against Grove City and touchdown runs of 30 and 64. Was a running back through his freshman year and then started on defense last year. You've seen that he runs hard with good speed. And remember, Reed Hall was there in the past, who rushed for 1,600 yards last year. I want to tip our cap to Kyle Kuhlman, who's doing stats extraordinaire so far tonight for this contest. And Fudge now has 17 carries for 117 yards, and Kidwell has the ball across midfield, down the sidelines. That is so hard to tightrope like that, and a great run by Brock Kidwell to get a first down and move across midfield with 1:32 left to go in the 3rd.
Well, and Randy, you talked about the balance they've had in this running back position. They can't just isolate on Fudge, because what will happen is they'll get the other guy to carry the football and come up and hurt you. And that's exactly what happens there with Brock Kidwell.
26 yards in that gain. And here's a guy, remember, forced into the studio because of the injury to Michi McCauley. And you can see what he's done. He's crossed the century mark as well, too. And Fudge now has crossed the 35, bounces, pushes, still on his feet. He is a human pinball inside the 30-yard line. And again, when you're smaller like that, sometimes it's hard to find that center of gravity. But he's also slow to get to his feet. Two players are down, one on each side.
He might be out of gas right now. He may need a break. And you see him square himself up, going north and south. And the effort here is just relentless. We saw at the end of the first half, he was able to drag people with him. And it looks like he is still on the ground after the play. And I think he's just absolutely gassed out there.
Trying to figure out if that was Raymond who came with a cross body block on him there and just nailed him around the midsection. And that was a solid hit that he bounced off of and fell forward for another couple of yards. But he's being attended to with Sesame Street left on the third. 1, 2, 3 left to go here. It's New Albany clinging to that 7-point lead. Fudge now, when you look at the numbers, he's at 129, Kidwell at 109. They've combined for 30 carries. Kidwell has 20 and Fudge has 18. So talk about a 1-2 punch in the backfield. And then think about what Brock Tibbetts can do too. And when you watch the quarterback run, Jeff, he's kind of a glider. You know, at 6'4", he covers a lot of ground. He's moving fast. It just doesn't look like it at times. So they've got that going. And then Klaus, of course, with a couple touchdown catches.
You know, we've heard that this is Gahanna's first home game. They only have 2 scheduled here. But what a terrific job their administrative staff has done putting this stadium together in a safe manner for this football game tonight.
Our thanks to Catherine Harris, the outstanding athletic director here at Gahanna Lincoln High School. There's the numbers on Jaden Fudge so far in this contest. So we'll actually see a different running back in there.
200-yard rushers in that backfield. That's pretty impressive.
And 3 in the game so far, with Mr. Blackman over the century mark as well, too. Actually, they'll go with 1 back for now. Kidwell will get it, glide, find that gap. Look at that seam. That is something that is innate to a running back, Jeff, isn't it? Because you can find that seam as you're gliding to the outside, cut on a dime, and take it upfield and get a huge gain and move the sticks with 1:05 left to go.
Well, the center, Colin Johnson, give him a lot of credit there because pancake block on the nose guard, and he's undersized in there, you know. And I'm hard to believe that 6'1" and 215 would be considered undersized. But when you look at some of the defensive linemen that he's going up against, he was able to come up with a great block right at the point of attack.
Gain of 12 on the play. 1st and 10 now as we're inside the Schiff and Associates red zone. Thanks to Scott Schiff and his crew for the great work that they do. And Tibbetts to the 15, maybe the 14. Was that designed to show the ball like that?
That was designed to be a quarterback keeper the entire way, but what you're supposed to do is get a little bit of a mesh point there with the running back, but the running back got too far ahead of him. It's not much of a fake, was it?
Nobody else there. This is the football. This is what you want.
Yeah. I got it. Come get it.
On the second down play, 10 ticks left to go in the quarter. Let's see if they get this play off in time as AC Klaus will check in with the play. And I don't think they have to run another play, and they will not, and that will end the third quarter. New Albany up by 7 and looking for more. Can the Lions roar back? We'll find out together. This is a special Friday edition of Honda's Thursday Night Lights presented by Columbus State Community College on the CW Columbus.
Happy to be joined by the principal here at Gahanna Lincoln High School, Jessica Williams. Jessica, thank you so much for joining us here on Thursday Night Lights. How long have you guys been back to school now?
We've been back. We are in our distance learning model since August 24th.
Okay, so what have your impressions been like so far? How has it been going?
It's been going great. Our teachers have stepped up to the occasion and have been educating our students virtually, although there are challenges, but they don't bat an eye. And our kids have responded well as well. You know, their families are very supportive, and we can appreciate that, especially during these difficult times. Everybody's been moving with grace and patience, and it's been a good start to the year.
What are some of the things you're excited about this school year?
We're excited to get back in the building. So that's one thing that we're definitely excited about. The kids are excited. When I see them out here at practices or walking through the parking lot, they're like, Mrs. Williams, we miss school, you know, and I remind them, we miss you too, and we can't wait to get back.
What's the response been this week, knowing that you guys are going to be on Honda's Thursday Night Lights on a Friday? What's that been like?
It's been fantastic. You know, our community is able to watch us. This is our home opener. So although everybody can't fill the stands as they normally do, they're excited to get to watch our team and our band perform tonight on the field and show our Gahanna pride.
Well, we feel very lucky that you invited us here for senior night as well. Jessica Williams, the principal here at Gahanna Lincoln High School.
Mike, thank you very much. And right now it's been Kidwell left, Kidwell right, and Jeff, they have it now. First and goal inside the 2-yard line. All the yards on this drive have been on the ground.
And Jaden Fudge, who was injured on the play before we went to break there at the end of the quarter, exited the stadium, went underneath for some medical treatment.
Kidwell again. Brock takes it and cuts back to the left and takes it in for another Ramos Roofing touchdown and make it 34-21. New Albany on top, pending the extra point.
Boy, a lot of excitement on this sidelines over here for the New Albany Eagles. Good execution by that offensive line. Look at the offensive line getting out there ahead of the time. And Cade Leggio was trying to make a block there, tripped up, but there wasn't anybody to block, Cade, so don't worry about it. Don't let anybody beat you up in film session over that one.
Extra point time for Hoff. It is up, and it's good, 35-21. Hey, I'll tell you something about Cade Leggio. As an offensive lineman, yes, he's great, but he once got a pick in a JV game, a pick 6 against Gahanna last year, and celebrated a birthday 1 week ago. Happy birthday. Blow out the candles if you get the victory. You're up by 14, 10:53 left to go here on the CW Columbus. Biggest cushion in this contest now goes to New Albany of 2 touchdowns, 35-21, but still plenty of time for the Lions to get back into this one, down 35-21. Ian Hoff has it teed up at the 40-yard line. And the return going to start from the 15 and up to the 27-yard line, so a return of 12 yards on the play. And I guess the question I have right now, as Baker on the return, as you take a look at the Hilliard Lawn and Garden scoring summary, it goes 80 yards, all those, by the way, on the ground. Jeff, do you have to get rid of your game plan if you're Gahanna Lincoln right now, or do you keep doing what you're doing because you're down by 14 points now with under 11 minutes left to go?
They've got to build some confidence in that offense, and you heard Bruce Ward talk at halftime. We got to do better at what we do best, and that's running the football. And I talked at the beginning of the game, you've got to be able to run it to pass it. And this is a team that has really struggled throwing the football all year.
First and 10, mark the ball just past the 27-yard line. And not a whole lot there, although Blackman with the surge will get it across the 30-yard line. You look at the clock as the time continues to dwindle for the Lions, and Blackman left, Blackman right, and they've got a nice gain on first down, but do they have time to score twice?
Yeah, they're capable of hitting a home run any time on you, and I think that's the biggest fear that New Albany has, you know, when Gahanna's out there with the football. So they got to continue to play good defense. I think they've made good adjustments in the second half, and they've been able to push the ball back inside.
Cole Clay with a hit, gain of 6 on that first down play. Berger spins, dumps underneath, pass incomplete at the 34-yard line, looking for his tight end on the play, big number 45, and that time Mylan Brown saw the pass go a little too strong for him. He has 2 catches for 9 yards. Guy played tight end last year as well.
Yeah, if anything, Trey Berger may have rushed this a little bit, Randy. He needed to let his big tight end gain a little bit more separation to be able to have a clear angle to be able to throw the football to him. Had plenty of time back there, but just relax, let the play come to you.
They need 4 on third down, and now you really have to believe, Jeff, it could be 4 down territory for the Lions if they can't convert here. From the 33-yard line, with 3 wide at the top, 1 to the bottom. Coming on the blitz. Berger had time, dumps, throws, and as the pass caught at the 45-yard line, it is a catch. Count it, goes to big number 24, and Brendan Raymond will move the sticks for the Lions.
Yeah, Brendan Raymond came into the ball game with 9 receptions. It was a good job of finding the receiver. Good catch, on time, on target. Good effort that time by quarterback Trey Berger.
And Jeff, really a safe pass to throw too, because if it's not complete, it's not going to be picked. Throwing it that low, it's going to be bouncing off the ground instead. So another Columbus Wild Dogs first down from the 44. Well, I tell you what, Blackman had a deep set that time. It looked like he was a couple yards further back, and the great job by that New Albany defense to pursue and make the hit. Big number 62, happy with his team's prowess that time in Tom Bowman.
With Tom Bowman, 62, the sophomore. Look at him. I mean, this is an unbelievable effort for a young football player. Able to go in there and corral him. Didn't make the tackle finally, but slowed him down enough for somebody else to come in and make the play. What an upside this kid has, just a sophomore.
His brother Michael, of course, played at New Albany, a high-character New Albany family as well, too. And Tom was a quarterback and running back in middle school. Will probably play more linebacker next year. Quick pop, pass is complete. That's what they needed. Out to the 48-yard line. Nice throw that time and a catch as they complete the pass to Jordan Lowry. Their outside threat, and that time makes the catch and will move the chains with 8:42 left.
Cam Behane came up to be able to make the play. This, again, a really good tackle. Fundamentally, these cornerbacks are very sound in terms of how they play.
Good catch by that man. Jordan Lowry had 5 catches for 60 yards coming into this contest. He turns 18 today. Happy birthday, Jordan Lowry. From the 48, they need a half dozen. Wow. They overran the play, and they make something out of nothing. Look at that. Baker did a great job, and the pursuit, Jeff, just blew by him, and Baker put on the brakes, and then Kane took it up a notch, turned it upfield, and got the first down.
I think there were so many white jerseys back there. Everybody was expecting somebody else to make the play. But look here, this is just poor tackling. They overran the play. Kane Baker threw the brakes on and was able to turn it back up inside, and that's a huge first down for Gahanna.
Picks up 13 on the play. He also thought he got his face mask grabbed, and he might have on that play. He likes snowboarding, math, and is part of the ski club. So 1st and 10, mark the ball at the 40-yard line. 7:40 left to go. Readjust Blackman. Berger on the boot, looking long downfield, has a man waiting for the football, and it's caught at the 5-yard line. Boy, if you're waiting for the ball like Lowry is, you're just saying, please come down soon.
Exactly. Ball was underthrown, but it allowed the receiver, Jordan Lowry, to come back and be able to make the play. Good fake here, and this is just throwing it as far as Trey Berger can throw it, and you can see the receiver almost fielding it like a punt. Jordan Lowry, 6'3", 171-pound senior, able to make the play, and Gahanna is in business.
They're in the Scott Schiff and Associates red zone, a gain of 35 on the play. 1st and goal from the 5. It is Blackman time. It is going down time. Back at the 8-yard line. The surge is there. Kidwell is there to make the hit. Also coming through, big number 64 to lead the charge, and number 54 as well, too. And the guy starting that was Jerron Webster.
There's the coaching staff working with that defense, led by Bubba Kidwell. Look at the pursuit here. And again, Peyton Hensey coming in from that strong linebacker position to make the play.
If you're wondering how he got the name Bubba, as a kid, his parents, including Tim, who's upstairs here, called him Bub. And Bub eventually became Bubba, and the name is stuck. Even though he's in his 40s, he's still Bubba. And a great coach. 2nd and goal from near the 7-yard line. Berger wants to throw, tough pass to throw in the corner, jump ball, and the catch is made for the touchdown. Lowry's got it. Gahanna Lincoln's got 6 more. You could tell he was charged after that 35-yard pass reception, and that's another Ramos Roofing touchdown. For a free estimate on your roof, texter call 614-761-ROOF. Then it was 35-27 with still 6:13 left.
Well, this is a 6'3" receiver going up against a 5'11" corner, and Jesse Gordon's going to lose this battle. Jordan Lowry able to high point. Well, I thought he might have high pointed the football, but he actually was there just to kind of catch it in the peach basket. But a good job by quarterback Trey Berger throwing it up where his receiver can make the big play.
Gerhardt for the extra point, the snap, the kick, it is up, and it is a 1-touchdown game. 6:13 left to go in this one. Wow, don't go anywhere. What a game we have in week number 3. A special Friday edition of Honda's Thursday Night Lights, presented by Columbus State Community College. 35-28, New Albany on top. You know, Jeff, you were talking about pass efficiency. Trey Berger, let's tip our cap or helmet to him. 4 of 4 passing on that drive. And now it is a 1-touchdown game.
setting up for an onside kick, and here it comes.
A couple of hops, and it's a free ball tossed around, and Gahanna Lincoln has it, I think. I think Blackman has it. Blackman was the second guy to go up and corral that football, and he's got it. He's pumped. The Lions now with a chance to tie or take the lead, and he's keeping the ball.
Well, you better go back out on the field because you got the offense.
And you've got the ball.
Yeah.
They need both.
Boy, that was well executed. The kicker did a wonderful job here. You're trying to get that ball to take that big hop, and that's exactly what they got. And now it's anybody's ball, and there is Blackman, who's had quite a game. 3 touchdowns already tonight. And Ronald Blackman, a special football player.
And what a job, you mentioned it, by Dallas Gerhardt with that onside kick. You never know where that thing is going to go. You can practice it ad nauseum, but you just never know what kind of tricky hop it's going to take. And that time, it favors Gahanna Lincoln. Blackman, nothing inside. Dancing outside to the 45. Cuts in and out. Now backs his way to the 40-yard line. So he took nothing, and he made 7 out of it.
You know, no need to rush here if you're Gahanna. You want to make sure you stick with your base offense. Don't turn the ball over. That has been the issue with Gahanna in the first couple of weeks. They've had plenty of turnovers, plenty of penalties, and mistake-free tonight.
And the Lions have their full complement unofficially of 3 timeouts, don't they? And 2 on the other side. Although I think it might be 2 and 2. We'll have to check that out. No, I think we're correct. 2 versus 3. Handoff. Blackman left side inside the 35 down to around the 33-yard line. Extends, and that will be enough for another Lion first down. Boy, you're looking at the clock. Jeff, you're thinking if you're Gahanna Lincoln, you want to drain that clock, and who knows, if you score late enough, do you have to make a decision as to whether you go for 1 or 2? Do you force the overtime, or do you go for the win?
Well, just 10 minutes ago, New Albany sitting on a 14-point lead. Looked like they were in total charge of this football game, but Gahanna, being the Lions that they are, have come roaring back into this game.
The tight end is Mylan Brown, but he can also split out. Berger wants to throw, wants to go long downfield again, and hits his man. It's Lowry. They did it again. The Lions have the touchdown, 33 yards out, and then it was 35-34, another Ramos Roofing touchdown.
Now we talk about how big strike this offensive football team has become. You run the ball to set up the pass. That's exactly what they did. Good fake in the middle, froze the corner. Look at the separation here, and that is just perfect. Jordan Lowry giving him a big target, but how about the throw by Trey Berger? Randy, this is an excellent job by the quarterback getting the ball to the receiver.
They're going for the tie with 4:54 left to go. The snap, the kick, it is up, plenty of leg. We are tied at 35. Lowry, you could sense on that 35-yard catch, he wanted the football again, and he's gotten it a couple more times. And thanks to Berger and his accurate passing, this game is tied. As you mentioned, Jeff, just a few minutes ago, it's a 14-point deficit for the Lions. It's a brand new game now at 35. All right, does that change your mindset at all if you're New Albany?
Yeah, did you score too quick? That's what Gahanna's got to be concerned about, because New Albany has been able to have great success with their offensive football team, and now they've got to gather themselves and maintain their composure.
Don't forget, coming up at the end of the game, Jeff and I will be selecting the Rally's player of the game, and it's going to come down to the last play, probably of the last possession of this contest. So stick around for the Rally's player of the game. Tied at 35. New Albany gets the ball back. I think they'll kick it deep this time.
You know, great players make big plays in big games, and at the beginning of the broadcast tonight, we talked about Jaden Fudge being an impact player. He's been every bit of that tonight. We talked about Ronald Blackman being an impact player. He's been every bit of that tonight, including recovering the onside kick.
There's your Hilliard Lawn and Garden scoring summary, and also a different kicker back out there. This time it is Brenton Molly out to boot it. He'll go deep. Fudge, who's back out there at the 6, lost it, picked it up at the 4. Jaden trying to cut outside, ran into his own blocker at the 15-yard line, and you can tell the surge defensively there by the Lions. They say loose. They have the football, and we'll wait and see.
Official said the ball was down.
They're going to call it down, so give it back to New Albany. 4:48 left to go here in regulation. All right, if you're New Albany, what do you want to do here?
Plenty of time on the clock. You got plenty of timeouts to be able to milk this thing. You want to go down and you want to come up with the game-winning score here You can see the ball did come loose, but he was already down. The official right on top of it. I was just going to say, this is where you really rely on your quarterback, Brock Tibbetts, to make good decisions.
Excuse me, are you surprised to see the recovery of Jaden Fudge? Because just a minute or two, he was on the sidelines leaving the stadium. You saw the orb up for grabs for the champion of this contest tonight. And the ball's free, and Tibbetts tries to fall on it. I think he does back around the 11-yard line.
Well, ball security in these situations extremely important, and talked about the importance of having a good play on first down, and this is certainly not a good play. And you can see the handoff there. That was miscommunication, because I don't think Brock Kidwell was expecting to get the ball, and there wasn't much room in there either. Big Elijah Smith was coming in there right on top of him.
Loss of 4 on the play, 2nd and 14. By the way, Berger's last 5 passes, good for 103 yards, 4 of those to Lowry. Fudge has got it, tries to cut up field, got to the 16-yard line. That was it. A good job that time. It almost looked like Mondre Curry was spying Fudge on that play, because I watched him come up from the secondary and just peer over at Fudge and make the hit. Young man that started at safety last year, had a birthday earlier this month, who likes history, and he'd like to make some here tonight. So now a big 3rd down play for New Albany with 3:45 and ticking.
Checking into the ball game, Owen Wilcox. He's your kind of your deep threat receiver for the New Albany Eagles. I'm wondering here if they go to the tight end, Braden Elwer. He's had a couple of big catches tonight. Sometimes the tight ends are ignored.
They'll keep it on the ground. Kidwell's going to get it up to the 22, maybe the 23-yard line, and Yates and company bend him back, so it's going to be 4th down. They're shy of the sticks with 3:20 and ticking left to go in regulation. How much of a gambler are you, Jeff Logan?
Not even close. This is punt formation. There is no question about it. Send the punt team in. Too much time on the clock. You got to rely on your defense to go out there and get a stop. But number one, execute the punt properly. Remember at the end of the second quarter when we had a situation where the quick kick went so poorly for New Albany. They just want to execute this in perfect condition.
What a game we have going on here. Brock Tibbetts standing back in his own 10-yard line.
There's your first down.
They got the encroachment of the neutral zone against the Lions.
Goodness.
We'll make it official from Joe Volpio here with the call. With 2:43 left to go, he's going to confer actually with his entire crew except for the back judge.
I think what they're going to make sure of is that the center didn't flinch and draw him off sides into the neutral zone, and that's what the conversation is going on with the officials right there. Here's the call.
Dead ball. Encroachment. Let's go. Defense. Result of the play. First down.
New Albany keeps the drive alive.
And we talked about penalties and turnovers being a big problem for Bruce Ward and his football team. And that one certainly impactful because it keeps the drive alive in a tie football game.
The numbers so far on Brock Tibbetts in this contest, good numbers. 7 of 11 lucky numbers for the Eagles. 87 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and no picks. Late checking into the huddle right now is number 22. That is Jack Daly. He'll check in as a wide out to the top. Toss to the far side. Brock Kidwell's got it. Got a seam. Motors out across the 35-yard line. And Jeff, you're looking at the timeout situation. If you're New Albany, you're moving the ball. You've got a couple timeouts left. By the way, Ian Hoff, your kicker, is 2 of 2 on field goals, 24 and 31 yards.
So this is quite a 1-2 punch they've got in the backfield with Jaden Fudge and Brock Kidwell back there. Both of them have had terrific nights. Both of them over 100 yards rushing in this game.
Can we share that rally's player of the game? Fudge has got it. Pressure and brought down. Great job and great penetration by the Lions to break through. Coming through was big number 33. And guess who's back out there?
Oh, is that Ricky Ali?
Well, we got to check that number again, but it looked like 33 shooting through there.
It is 33.
Ricky Ali makes the hit on the play. It sets up a loss and makes it 3rd down now with 90 seconds left to go. 3rd down and 5. How far do you want to go if you're New Albany?
Play the game right now by Ricky Ali with a great defensive stop there.
Wing to the bottom. Tibbetts on the boot. There's nobody there. He's got to do it by himself, and he can't. Great open field tackle on the play by number 44 for the Lions, and that's Tyree Johnson with 1:09 left to go, and now
timeout. Gahanna.
Yeah, the play did not stop the clock, so they went ahead and took their timeout.
And they will burn their first. Each team will have 2 timeouts remaining now with 1:09 left to go. Take a look at this.
But what they've done, they've been running that same play, and they decided that they would go ahead and set it up again, hope everybody would go with the play. And most of the blue shirts went with the fake. But not everybody, and it's going to bring up that 4th down situation, 4th and 5. Randy, they got very lucky the last time where they got an encroachment call that created the 1st down.
You know, Tyree Johnson, who made that hit, I think you know his dad. His dad, Tabor Johnson, coached at OSU and is now with the Raiders.
Yeah, Tabor had 2 coaching stints at Ohio State. The last one just lasted a year or so, but now he's with the
Raiders.
Las Vegas Raiders.
I just call them the Raiders.
I know. How difficult
Where are they going to be
that?
next week? Yeah.
How difficult is that, though?
Tough job working in Vegas, huh? Viva him.
Got a beautiful new stadium, though. Seen that.
So here we go. 4th down play. 2 timeouts apiece remaining in this contest in regulation. And yes, we have overtime in high school football if you're new to high school football in the state of Ohio. And I can give you the entire rundown of what happens with that.
Your quarterback, as we've mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Brock Tibbetts is the punter.
They thought they were short a player, but I think they have 11 out there. Tibbetts retreating back to his 20-yard line. I think Baker's going to go back as the deep man. High snap. Thank goodness he's over 6 feet tall. And booms the punt. Baker retreats to the 20-yard line to make the catch. Actually, that's Raymond who's returning the punt, but what a job by Brock Tibbetts. If he's not 6'4", I don't think he corrals that.
No doubt about it. That ball was way high, and Brock Tibbetts was able to go back there with great composure and made a solid punt. Watch again. This thing is way up there, folks. Good catch. Fortunately, they were in punt hold, which they weren't rushing the punter, putting any pressure on him, so he was able to take his time, gather himself, and make a good kick. So.
Wow. Now, do you put the ball up? Lowry's been hot. 45-yard punt by Tibbetts after a high snap. Let's see what Berger opts to do. He's going to hand it off to Blackman, who'll get it around the corner and get only up to around the 22-yard line. Are they playing for overtime?
I'll remind you that this team has the ability to hit a home run with any play, including what would look like just a basic running play because of this man right here, Ronald Blackman. He is lightning. Oh, there's a bad snap. He wasn't ready.
And back at the 7-yard line, Berger was falling. The ball is still rolling around. I thought he corralled it. New Albany says they have the football. The ball is apparently still live. Volpio trying to get in there, and Joe trying to ascertain who's got it. It's New Albany who's got it. Can you believe this? With 25 seconds left to go, the Eagles get it back, and coming up with the football is number 73, Griffin Pringle. I thought he had it at around the 8-yard line.
The ball was snapped before the quarterback was ready, and we've talked about the bugaboo of this football team for the first couple weeks, and it's been turnovers and penalties. And here is the first turnover of the football game, if I'm not mistaken, and it's going to go against Gahanna in a situation with 25 seconds left on the clock. They're certainly in field goal range.
Well, it's the first turnover we had in 2 games. And with 25 ticks left to go, do you go for a running play or two here if you're New Albany? You have 2 timeouts left.
Absolutely.
First and goal. Once again, inside the Schiff & Associates red zone on this Wild Dogs first down. First and goal from the 8-yard line. And Kidwell's got it, but there's a flag on the play.
Boy, how about the hit inside by the big guy?
This is a big call if it's against New Albany.
Personal foul. Shot block. Offense. 15-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Wow, that is huge. It's going to move the ball back to around the 23-yard line if it was near the line of scrimmage, somewhere in that vicinity. So now you're looking at about a 40-yarder.
Yeah, that changes things every way. Now, the chop block right there. The left guard and the center were involved there. What a chop block means for those of you that are listening is that if you've got a defensive lineman engaged where you're blocking him, and then somebody comes in from the side, that's going to be the chop block, and that is done purely for safety of the football players. I'm not calling it a dirty play. but it's one of those plays that the offensive line just have to be careful of.
Second timeout for New Albany. Fans, don't miss the biggest plays for the biggest high school games in Central Ohio. Join Fox 28's Clay Hall for first scores on Fox 28 tonight at 10:45, sponsored by Spectrum. Hopefully, we'll be done by 10:45. And there is the magical trophy that may have to be dusted off by Mike Todd because we may not be ready to hand it over to anybody just yet. All right, inside the huddle with Kidwell and company. What thoughts go through your mind? What do you tell your team right now?
Well, the one thing they got to do is they got to make sure that they preserve a timeout for the kicking game. If this thing can be won with a field goal, but right now you don't want to leave it to a 40-yard effort for your kicker. That's right at the outside of the comfort level.
Klaus has 2 touchdown catches, Jeff, in this contest for New Albany. Do you go back to him or do you keep it on the ground?
I don't think there's any reason why you wouldn't be willing to throw the ball, but they're going to run it.
Kidwell to the 20, to the 15, and all the way down to the 11-yard line, and the clock down to 11 seconds, down to 10, down to 8. Let's see when they burn the timeout. With 5, 4. They burn the timeout with 1 second. Wow. Too close for comfort. They take the timeout.
Timeout, New Albany.
Yeah, you had to save it for the kicking game. There's no question about it.
Now, if you're Gahanna Lincoln, do you try to ice the kicker? You have 2 timeouts remaining.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they use at least one of them here.
You're looking at
what a crazy game.
About a 28 or 29-yard field goal.
Thanks for everybody joining us tonight, and hopefully you've hung around for this one. This has been an exciting football game from the very beginning.
Well, again, you look at the range. We mentioned, too, that Ian Hoff, 2 of 2 on field goals. He's got a 24 and a 31-yarder. This one would kind of split between those two. 2 of 2 on field goals, and so far he's made, all 5 extra points, so he's 10 of 10 on extra points.
Well, think of some of the big plays, Randy, here in the fourth quarter. We've had an encroachment first down. We had an onside kick recovery. We had a chop block that took them out of field goal range, and now this one will be attempted from the 18-yard line, 28-yard field goal.
Klaus to hold from the near hash to win the game on the last play of regulation.
And there's your freeze.
There's the timeout taken by Gahanna Lincoln, and they waited to the very last second. That's their second.
Timeout. Gahanna. Oops.
On the way to the 25, guys. 5 more yards.
All right. Join us next Friday, folks, at 7 p.m. Can we top this game? We're going to have another special edition of Honda's Thursday Night Lights. Don't miss the Bears of Olentangy Berlin taking on the Celtics of Dublin Jerome. As we speak, Dublin Jerome 2-0 on the season. And Berlin, what a job they've done with that program. Mark Norrie and company. We look forward to that game next Friday night right here on the CW Columbus. All right, you got one more timeout. If you're Gahanna Lincoln, you say, all right, he's at the left hash. Maybe he'll hook the ball or try to overcompensate and slice it to the right.
Yeah, would not be surprised if Bruce Ward goes ahead and uses it again. Just give that kicker something else to be thinking about.
Do you talk to the kicker or do you leave him alone?
Oh, you don't talk to any kickers.
Here we go. See if they burn one more timeout. Nope, they don't. The snap, the kick, it is up, and it is no good. New Albany thought they made it. The kick is no good, and we are going to overtime, tied at 35.
Boy, never made solid contact on that ball, Randy. Just hit it a little fat. There's Coach Kidwell. Shake it off. We got to go out there and play overtime now.
Take a look one more time.
The snap was good. The hold was good.
Good pressure.
We'll have a 3-minute intermission.
And here's the scenario. In overtime, you will have a 3-minute intermission.
Look how close.
The visiting team calls the coin toss. The winner of the toss gets choice of offense, defense, or end of field. We have 3 minutes, as we mentioned, until the first overtime, 2 minutes for additional overtimes. The home team gets the choice in the second overtime, and then it alternates for additional overtimes if we go that far. We are tied at 35, going to OT, which I believe is only the first or second time we've ever had one on the CW Columbus. What a night of football at Gahanna Lincoln High School, and it's been so good, we've got some extra time for you as well. So that's the scene here. At halftime, we were knotted at 21. We wondered what would happen. This has been back and forth, a seesaw throughout this contest. Different ebbs and flows, because for a while there early on, New Albany had the passing game going with Tibbetts hitting Klaus for a couple of scores, and then the answers by Blackman and company with their touchdowns. New Albany would fight back as well, too. Gahanna down by 14 points, and then they come back and get a couple late touchdowns. And take a look at the Gahanna comeback. Here's Berger going long downfield for Lowry. This is a ball he waited for 35 yards on that gain to get the ball at the 5-yard line and set up a 1st and goal. And then a tough pass to throw and a jump ball where Lowry beats Gordon for the touchdown. And then they come back with high bounce, and Mr. Blackman says, I'm the second one there. I get the ball. Big number 4 corrals it and tries to go down. There's so many bodies, it takes a while to hit the turf. And then eventually, 35-28, looking for Lowry again, and a perfect throw by Trey Berger to tie the game. And that's where we stand after the missed field goal as we head into overtime.
And we've only had one 14-point lead in this football game, Randy. Everything else has been back and forth throughout the entire time. I guess it's kind of natural that these two really good football teams should end this way in overtime. They're going to flip it again.
He dropped
a fumble.
That's the second turnover. New Albany, I think, got the option. So, Jeff, I assume if you get the option, you want to go second, right?
You want to go second. Take the defense first.
And again, you have 3 options when it comes down to this. We mentioned offense, defense, or end of field. End of field doesn't really matter tonight. I don't think the breeze is much of a factor here. And they're explaining the options right now for Gahanna Lincoln out there. It is Kane Baker on the other side. It is Peyton Hensey. You get an additional timeout for the overtime session as well, too. It'll be untimed on the clock because everything is just the time between plays, so you can have a delay a game, but there's no time on the clock like the 12 minutes like you normally have in quarters. And Joe Volpio going over all the ground rules and letting everybody know the situation. I think New Albany, based on what they said, I don't think we had his mic open, won the toss, so Gahanna is going to go that way and have the ball first at the 20-yard line. So, with a short field, it would seem to favor the running games of both of these schools because they can march it in from 20 yards, you would think.
Yeah, and both have decent kickers too, Randy, so the ability to at least get points on the board, you've got to feel pretty good about, and doing a good job of explaining the situation to the team captains that are out there. And
so underlying what you're saying to me is you're hoping it ends after one overtime is what you're saying.
Well, I think both teams have a great opportunity without any negative plays to be able to put points on the board. The play will start at the 20-yard line, as we talked about, and regular first downs and all of that good stuff here. And basically, they've got to get a score or turn the ball over on downs, and then New Albany will get a chance to do their thing offensively.
So then remember, if we go to a second overtime, the home team will get the choice in the second OT. So it'll be 1st and 10. We'll mark the ball at the 20. There'll be zeros for the time on the clock. But again, you can have a delay of game call if you take more than the 40 seconds allotted between the plays. So 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for Gahanna Lincoln, tied at 35. We have everybody but the officials. They're marching their way down the field right now. Sometimes, Jeff, depending on the weather conditions, you want to take one end over the other. And sometimes in a college game, you want to go and move towards your end zone if you got a lot of fans down there. But the weather not a factor on this Wild Dogs first down.
Jordan Lowry at the bottom of your screen. Looks like he's got single coverage. They throw it up in the corner.
Berger from the gun on the first down play. It's Blackman, nothing inside. Can he bounce it outside? He does. 20, 15, 10. Tight ropes, pushes for the pylon. Waiting for a call. Touchdown. 41-35. Another Ramos Roofing touchdown as Blackman takes it in from 20 yards out. But remember, New Albany will get a chance to answer after the try for the extra point.
Touchdown number 4 for that young man tonight. They've been burying the ball inside. That time he sold it inside and bounced it outside. And we talked about the importance of maintaining control on that corner, and a really good job. Touching the ball on the pylon counts as getting the ball into the end zone.
Extra point time for Gerhardt. Snap, plenty of leg. Kick is up. It's 42-35 halfway through the first OT in favor of Gahanna Lincoln, but New Albany will get it back. All right? If you're New Albany, you got to be calm and composed and just try to answer.
Run your offense. You've put 35 points on the board. You've been very successful. You got 200-yard rushers. Oh, and by the way, they got a pretty decent running back over here, too, named Ronald Blackman with his 4th.
Jeff, was that
the
designed to go inside, or did he bounce it outside when he found nothing inside?
Yeah, the design was absolutely to run inside, but you know, Randy, you were talking in the fourth quarter about how they were jamming the ball inside, and when's he going to bounce it out? Well, you sell that inside run enough times that everybody collapses finally, then you'll get the opportunity to bounce it out.
Blackman now 23 carries, 188 yards, 4 touchdowns. By the way, a turnover would end the possession and end this contest. For the 20, toss sweep near side. That's Kidwell. He'll get it inside the 20 down to around the 18-yard line. Short gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8 from there. And once again, it is Michael Martin making the hit on the play. The play coming in from the sidelines for the Eagles, the person of A.C. Klaus.
Wilcox checked into the ball game as well. Big receiver at 6'3".
So they've got 2 wideouts. They're both going to the same side of the field. Souter over the football to center. From the gun. Low snap. Tibbetts gets it, catches it in the traffic, and losing the ball is Elwert, and they're going to rule the pass incomplete. It is not over. They're ruling the pass incomplete as Elwert dropped the football, so life remains for New Albany.
A lot of excitement here. Let's watch on replay. Bad snap. Good composure. Is this ball caught?
Ooh, that's pretty close to having possession.
Let's watch again from the end zone. Boy, Randy, I thought he had possession of the football there. That was a really close call, but the official right there, you can see him right there on top of it, immediately called it incomplete, not thinking that he had complete possession of that football.
And remember, this is 2-down territory because a field goal means nothing right now. 3rd down and 8. Toss goes to Fudge. He's got room to the outside. 10. And Jaden down to the 5-yard line, and Fudge will have a 1st and goal now for New Albany.
Well, they stay alive. Pitch sweep here. Good lead blocking. Jerron Webster out there, number 54, getting blocked from the wide receivers. Again, if you're going to play in this New Albany offense and you're a receiver, you better be willing to block out there.
I'll tell you what, the entire overtimes will be played in the Scott Shiffett Associates red zone, the ball at the 20-yard line, so it'll be 1st and goal now from the 5-yard line. It is Fudge. He's got a gap. Jaden will break the plane and take it in for the touchdown. All right, Jeff, you're the road team. Do you go for the tie or do you go for overtime number 2?
Boy, that's a tough call. I think in early overtime at this stage, you go ahead and you kick the extra point. Trying to get the ball back in play. Boy, how about the offensive line out there? That was just a terrific job by the offensive line getting out there and making plays. And Jaden Fudge.
Hoff is coming off the field. I think there's the chance they may go for the win. The ball will be marked near hash at the 3-yard line. Jeff, I think Hoff is coming off. I think
they've made
they're going for the victory. They're going to try to get the 2-pointer and make it 43-42 and go home with a win. Here we go. This is the game. Tibbetts. And a timeout going to be taken, I assume, by Gahanna.
Everybody gets one here in overtime. And
timeout. Gahanna.
So they'll burn their timeout. And if you're Bruce Ward and Murad Holiday going over
the last timeout of this overtime period,
the head coach and the defensive coordinator, what they want to see from their defensive team to stop New Albany from picking up 3 yards.
You know, in this weird year of football, you know, with everybody getting a chance to be in the playoffs, maybe you take a gamble like this because of that. So it's not going to keep you out of the playoffs if it doesn't work.
Excellent point, because there's not as much on the line, because I'm predicting both of these teams will make the playoffs.
I think that's a safe bet.
You get the playoffs, and you get the playoffs, and everybody gets the playoffs, and hopefully we'll get a chance to see some of them. All right, so big play. So where do you go? Do you go Fudge? Do you go Tibbetts? Do you go Kidwell?
Well, you got 2 great opportunities back there, and Jaden Fudge is the guy got to be the guy that everybody's thinking about. Wouldn't be surprised, a little misdirection, fake it to him and give it to Brock Kidwell.
Klaus is on an island at the top.
Fudge a single back.
Wilcox is the middleman. Tibbetts under center. It goes to Fudge. Can he break the plane? Does he go into the end zone? He is going to be stopped short of the goal line. And that will do it and Gahanna Lincoln gets the victory in overtime, 42-41. And look at the scene on the field right now. Everybody's doing a 100-yard dash.
A lot of excitement for this Gahanna football program, and the disappointment for New Albany is measurable as well. And well, I want you to watch here. This is a good job at kicking it up inside. Somebody might want to criticize, why didn't you run for the corner? But he had to get it up inside, and the defensive front that was able to stuff the play, to be able to let the linebackers pursue to the play, that is a great defensive play by Gahanna.
I tell you what, it looked like Sean Ungbanga and a few other guys clogged it up. 42-41 in overtime. Gahanna wins. Back with the post-game show in just a moment. Welcome back, and what a game we've had in week number 3. Gahanna Lincoln gets by New Albany 42-41 in overtime. Let's go down to the sidelines and Mike Todd.
All right, Randy. Bruce Ward, front and center, please, sir. Hold on to that for just a moment if I could. Go ahead and step to that microphone if you would, sir. I think I aged about 10 years watching that game.
You and me both.
I can't imagine what it was like coaching this game. What was it like?
It was fun to watch our kids compete. That's all we asked of them, is give effort every single play, the entire game, and that's what they did.
Well, it is our absolute pleasure to, number one, thank you for such an entertaining game tonight. 2, thank you for being amazing hosts. Happy senior night to all the seniors. And it is our pleasure to present to you the Honda Thursday Night Lights Championship Trophy. Lions, go crazy.
I think the party is just beginning. No school tomorrow. Stay home, everybody. Oh, it's Saturday. That's right. What a game. Both teams now 2-1. And, Jeff, one of the classic games I think we have done in the last 10 years here on Thursday Night Lights, and it had to be on a Friday for it to happen.
Yeah, but we felt coming into this ball game, Randy, that we were going to have this kind of a game, that it would be exciting, it would be close. We thought these two teams would measure up pretty well. Both of them highly successful at running the football. And the last 3 minutes of this football game, I don't think you could have scripted more things that were going to occur in that game, and give Gahanna a lot of credit. They were the survivors. They made the win.
Let's put on the other hat right now. If you're New Albany and you're Coach Kidwell, what do you tell your team after this effort tonight?
Well, you tell them that, listen, guys, we came in here, we came into a tough environment. We're playing this game. We still have the playoffs as a part of who we are and what we do. We haven't lost anything, but I believed in you. I believed we could go win that game. I trusted you, and I'll trust you tomorrow as well.
Think about the fact that the 2-star running backs, one for each team, each left this game for a short period of time because of injuries, and both came back almost as strong as they had early in this contest.
Yeah, pretty amazing stuff. And I think the efforts by all of these guys were terrific. And one guy in particular was very special tonight.
And he is our Rally's player of the game, and that is Ronald Blackman. What a performance he had tonight. It seemed like every time he touched the football, it was a touchdown. But it happened 4 times on 23 carries, nearly 200 yards rushing in this game. Lowry had a very strong second half as well, too, for the Lions. And how about the Fudge and Kidwell combination on the other side? But Ronald Blackman showed us a lot of character and strength and speed in this game.
You know, I think we recognize the fact that whoever won this football game, somebody that was a running back was going to be recognized as the player of the game. And he not only had 3 touchdowns in regulation, he's able to come up with this, a onside kick recovery, right guy in the right spot, and then in overtime, he's able to get the ball into the end zone right there. Boom. That ends up being the game winner.
Let's check out the numbers from this contest. 42-41, the final in overtime, and we had over 700 yards of total offense. On the ground, these two teams combined for 526 yards, and occasionally we threw passing yardage in there for about 200 yards. 1 turnover in this game, and it was interesting.
It was interesting, Randy. A lot of pushes and sways going back and forth in this game, and I think both coaches can be proud of the fact that we played Ohio high school football at a very high level here in Gahanna this evening.
What a mark to make at the halfway point of the season. It's been a great game in week number 3, but we're only half done. Next week, again, a special Friday edition of Thursday Night Lights when Olentangy Berlin takes on the Celtics of Dublin Jerome. Jeff, it has been an absolute pleasure. we hope the games in the future can come close to measuring up to this one.
I can only hope. Be safe.
All right, take care, everybody. Thanks for joining us. What a night it has been. On behalf of the Image Video crew and the CW Columbus staff, we say thank you for watching. Join us next Friday at 7 for a special edition of Honda's Thursday Night Lights when Olentangy Berlin takes on Dublin Jerome. Stay tuned for Last Man Standing coming up at 10 o'clock. What a night for football. Gahanna survives by the smallest of margins, 42-41 in overtime. What a night. I'll say it one final time. Join me. You've been watching a special Friday edition of Honda's Thursday Night Lights presented by Columbus State Community College in one place on the CW Columbus.